So Shiki, before I
All
begin
right.
anything, I just need to get one more Superman thing out there because this is something super important I didn't see in either of the videos. When I was in high school, I took like a film class as like one of my like because you got like one extra like media like class in your like your final year or whatever,
hmm
and my teacher was someone who like as part of the class showed us a scene from Man of Steel and explained how Superman is a Jesus metaphor, and I like that never sat right with me, but like every time I think back to that now, I'm just like, oh my god, that virus spread so far. Literally, one of my high school
Well, no,
teachers
well, no,
was
no. I
telling
can't.
it in
Well,
a
to be
classroom
fair,
setting.
well, no, to be fair, he is in Man of Steel, and he is in the like the original Superman movie. So if you are movie only, it makes sense why you'd have that assumption.
But like he does go on to talk about like Superman's character in a broader sense based on that, and I
Yeah,
remember
but
that, and I
Superman's character in a broader sense is based solely on his understanding of him from the movies.
yeah, okay, whatever.
No, it's not that weird.
Yeah, okay, whatever. Bad One Piece now. We're back to
Yeah, yeah,
weeb
yeah,
shit.
yeah,
Back to weeb shit. Fuck the cape shit. We're back to weeb stuff.
yeah. hmm
Oh, so dude, did you know that Big Mom was fucking the Rocks pirates for their genetics?
Oh, okay. We got this from Tamirverse, who like he's like kind of edgy guy, whatever.
Uh huh.
Um, but he was like, Big Mom is fucking the Rocks pirates for their eugenics. She's getting all the high tiers, and like I don't know if you guys remember this. Big Mom primarily it's just so many kids. I don't know, maybe as a one off, but generally speaking, Big Mom marries and has kids not for eugenics, but for alliances.
Yeah. So like
Not
again, like
some hypothetical power where maybe the thing she pops out of her stomach is a high tier. The literal power of she now has an ally.
yeah, the only husband we really know of is Pound, and Pound
And
was just
he's a
like
fucking weakling.
yeah, he's a weakling. He's just like, but he was like a prince or like a king of a country or something. And then Big Mom
Yes.
married him so that she can add his island to her
And
territory.
yeah, presumably absorbed the entire island under her rule.
Yeah. Uh,
Uh, or like Streusen might be a husband, in which case that's because Streusen is the man she's known the longest, and it would
yeah,
also
and
make
like
Streusen a
this is the
ruler.
thing. Like the video said that Perisparrow's dad is Ochoko, the one who
No, no, not yeah, yeah, Ochko. Or
yeah,
no, he didn't. Did he say Ochko or did he? Yeah, he did. But
yeah,
he showed the other one because he's dumb. And here's
right.
the thing: he tried to say it fits timeline wise. It doesn't. Perisparrow is how fucking old is he? Like 48 or something.
I think he's 50.
Whatever. Perisparrow basically was born when Big Mom was 18, more or less. So
Yeah.
she had him
Big Mom's
immediately.
68,
And
Perisparrow's 50, so when she was
and
18.
uh yeah, and we know that Big Mom did not join the Rocks Pirates yet at this point. Because or, like, if she did, we didn't see her because we saw them at Elbaf the same year Perisparrow was born, and she wasn't fucking there.
Yeah.
And for that record, neither was Wang Shi. So the idea that it fits the timeline perfectly, no, it doesn't. Like maybe theoretically she met him on the sea and fucked him beforehand, but Parasparrow, I thought Parasparrow being Streusen's son was like kind of like something everyone agreed on.
Yeah, like again, they kind of like look similar, and also like it kind of
An
makes sense.
oldest son
It
would
kind of
be the guy that groomed Big Mom. Like that makes
Yeah, it
sense.
makes sense that Big Mom's first husband would be like her first like partner as a pirate and the person who groomed her. Like that just would
Yeah,
make
like
sense.
that.
As weird as it is, it makes sense, and
Well, yeah, obviously. Wow, Streusen's a bad person. Our introduction to him is him laughing as Big Mom eats people alive. That's not
yeah.
a good person.
Dude, imagine looking at that and be like, damn, in 10 years, that's gonna be my wife.
I don't even think he was thinking
No,
that.
he wouldn't say
Because
think that, but
also,
like again, I imagine Big Mom was big on marriage, obviously, so it's like
yeah,
fine, we'll do that, and then you
yeah.
can
And then
like
like
get
the other
another one.
small one is that he's like, oh, dude, the Pirate Island had their pick of Big Mom. They were throwing her around, and even comments corrected this. It was like, let's get one thing right. She had her pick of Pirate Island.
Oh no,
let's
dude.
get let's be clear with who was picking who.
Dude, you think someone just walks up to Big Mom and is like, yo, let's do it? It's like, no, she takes you. She grabs you if
She
she
is like,
wants you,
oh,
man.
you're from a wealthy family in the North Blue, huh?
Or oh, you're a good
Interesting.
cook. Wow, man. First,
Yeah,
make me
yeah.
another one of the
Let's
plates.
be fucking
Yeah.
real.
First, bake me another one of those brownies. Then we'll hop straight to bed. Got it?
Oh, you're a talented shipwright.
Okay, I had like I
Yes.
imagine she drew like this a picture of a ship like with like crayons. This very child. I was like, this is the Queen Mama Shanter. Can you make this for me?
They're just fucking staring at it.
Why does it have a face?
They're like, she's like, oh no, I'll add the face. Just make a room for it. He's like, oh, okay.
It's like, all right. Anyway, like it wouldn't be surprising if one of the Rocks pirates was like one of Big Mom's husbands at some point. Like, wouldn't be shocking. But like to think that like
Yeah.
she was
Oh,
like
maybe like the Mafia Don one, because that actually seems like a strong connection.
yeah, but like a mafia, like family, marrying
Yeah,
in.
like I could see that one
That was
maybe.
actually a
What
motif in
I
Cake Island through Beige, right?
Yeah, so like there might be some stuff behind that one.
Yeah,
But
but like the
and
one that
related.
like
Oh,
oh
that's related to this. The one that got us is someone also like back to back. They start. I think this may have been Anime Balls Deep. They started with Big Mom views Kaido as her brother, and then like next scene without skipping a beat, she wanted to fuck him, and it's like, yo, what the hell?
yeah yeah.
So it's based on the idea that the Katakuri triplets are Kaido's kids, which honestly seems even less likely now that we've seen the Rocks flashback. And Kaido's this cabin boy bitch getting pushed around by everything.
I know. And
It's like,
again,
yeah,
like
man, she wanted him for his genes.
and like
Shut the
Katakuri
fuck
should
up.
have already been like what, like 5, 6 years old, like when we saw
Yeah,
him
we
last
saw we
chapter.
saw them
So
stanced up on
Kaido
the
would have been like
crew.
9 when Katakuri was born. So like,
No, no, I don't think that's right timeline wise.
isn't it? I thought Kaido was like 15 right now.
Let me check Kaido's age real quick. Kaido. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me double check. Let me double check. How old are
Katakuri's
you? He's
48, right? Katakuri's 48, and then
Oh my
Kaido.
god, yeah, hold on. Oh no, no, this is problematic. Never mind. Um Katakuri is 48, Kaido is 59. Good fucking god, that he better not be the dad.
Yeah, right. I was right. 9 years old. Spot on.
He-
I was right.
Oh no,
Yes.
no, 11.
Oh right. Yeah. Sorry. Oh man, I suck. I can't do
The
math.
and then like also they said like, oh, she didn't have kids with him, but she was always planning it. And it's like, why? Why are you adding this weird thing where Big Mom wants to fuck her brother? That's so weird.
And also, like again, like let's remember, like Big Mom like likes kids, right? So maybe when she saw the youngest Rocks pirate, she was like, "Oh yeah, that's a cute little guy." And then like Ruffles is here, it's like
I'll
you're like a
take
little
him
brother
under
to
my
me.
wing.
Yeah.
And then he was also her perfect kind of kid because when she's like, everyone has a lot of people they want to kill. Kaido's like, yeah, that's true, and she's like, oh, this kid rocks. Awesome.
Yeah, no, that one is like definitely just bothered me so much because it's like, what does any of their like interactions in like Wano or like in person that we've seen like
Because
imply
they're
that she's
horny.
trying to groom
It's
him?
just because they want hot Big Mom to fuck Kaido because they think it'd be hot.
I think it's more like they want they want genetics and stuff to be a part of the
But
story.
that's not even a good one. Daifuku is not the pinnacle of fucking inbreeding.
What do you mean inbreeding?
Oh yeah, why did I say inbreeding? Sorry. Daifuku is not the pinnacle of selective breeding. He's not. I'm right. Daifuku is not the pinnacle of
I
selective
don't know,
breeding.
man. I mean, like like, hey, I mean, I don't know, man. He's got his brothers are
Is
kind of
Oven the
cool.
pinnacle of selective
Yes,
breeding?
Oven is the
Oven
pinnacle.
gets
Look at his hair.
speed
Look at
blitzed
his
by
hair.
Sanji.
Look at his hair.
No. All right. So yeah, it's stupid. What's next?
Next is this was just a funny question I saw on a thumbnail, and it's after One Piece ends, who gets custody of Chopper?
Chopper is 17 by the time it ends. He might be 18, in which case, let him do what he fucking wants.
But my immediate answer was just like, all right, if he doesn't go back to Kureha, it's Robin.
It's Robin. Yeah.
Robin will strangle one other crew member if she can get Chopper custody of Chopper. She would.
No, here's the problem. Robin's gonna want to look after Chopper, but Chopper's gonna want to dick around with Usopp. He's gonna want to do it so bad.
Yeah. All right.
We see a funny scene where the three great adventurers are Chopper, Usopp, and Robin. And Usopp's like, "It's really weird you wanted to come, Robin. I mean, I'm looking for beetles and bugs. Why are you coming?"
Oh, I
Like
have my reasons.
I'm looking for plants and bugs. I brought Chopper for his nose. Why are you here?
I'm here because someone needs to comb Chopper's fur, and you're not going to do it.
And Chopper's like, I comb my own fur, thank you very much.
I think it'd be funny if like they start talking to each other like they're an old married couple and Chopper's the son. It's like you never let.
That'd be stupid.
How come I'm
What's
always the
next?
one bathing him? Because you always insist that you bathe him. I don't know why.
What's next? Well, actually, let's be accurate. It's been stated Usopp's the one who cuts the crew's hair.
Right, yeah, he does do
So
that.
he's the one grooming Chopper. Alright, what's next?
Okay, next is we actually just have like 3 live action things in a row because the teaser
Let's go,
came out
let's
and
go,
people were
let's go,
talking
let's go.
about it. Okay, so this is probably a poem we've addressed for already, but the One Piece live action is the best thing to happen to the franchise because new fans, man, more new fans. Who someone like one of the shorts YouTubers we saw like literally said
Yeah,
that, and I'm like,
yeah,
no, you, no, you
yeah.
no.
Because it's like in order. Like this is like a funny joke I made, Puff, and I do stand by this. It's possible, like brought in new fucking manga and anime watchers specifically who will stay for a long period of time. It's possible Four Kids did that as effectively as a live action
Yeah.
because Four Kids was a gateway anime.
Oh yeah, no. Like, the thing is, like, Four Kids dubbed Pokemon, and if you're gonna tell me that didn't bring people into like the anime sphere, you're lying. Four Kids did
You're
do
telling me
that.
Four Kids isn't the reason a lot of people play Magic the Gathering as they watch Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah.
Like you're lying if you deny that. Um, It's like, yeah, I actually think Four Kids, which everyone agrees, that's why I like bringing up Four Kids. Everyone universally agrees. Four Kids is fucking ass. It's a terrible adaptation of the story, and yet it definitely brought in a lot of fucking fans. Does that
Right.
mean I have to be nice to the Four Kids dub now? No! Fuck you!
Yeah, like the thing is, like the Four Kids dub, like probably did more because it was literally the only exposure One Piece had in the West for like
And
a
like, it
while.
was aiming at like tweens. It was like a gateway show introducing them to the world of anime. And I'm sure once they learned that that goofy ass show they watch actually has like a much funnier, better acted, more serious version, they're like, "Oh, well, isn't that interesting?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Like obviously Four Kids, what's funny is Four Kids hurt One Piece in the West because it didn't get a Naruto or a Bleach dub,
Yeah.
but it's still the gateway anime. So if we're doing interpretations equal quality based on ensuring people to the series, then Four Kids is good. Because if your point is, oh well, it's bad, so it's not okay. Okay, I think the live action's bad, so I think it's a bad intro to the
Right.
series.
And again, like I don't mind if your introduction to One Piece is the live action of the Four Kids or whatever.
Yeah,
I
I
got into
care if
Naruto.
you, after experiencing everything, still think it's the best version.
I
Then
got
I
into
got a problem with
I
it.
got into Naruto through the Ninja Storm games. I'm not gonna say like, yeah, I'm ride or die for these games, man. They were so good.
You know
It's
how
not me.
what was my first experience to One Piece?
What?
I was watching a clip of it with the Japanese with Japanese subtitles of Luffy fighting Buggy, and I thought, "What is this fucking show? Why is a farmer fighting a clown? What the fuck is going on?"
Why is a farmer? He does look like a farmer if you have
I
no
know. I thought he was
idea.
a farmer before I knew anything about One Piece because he looked like one.
Yeah. This is okay. So next live action opinion is I'm not affiliated with you.
Yeah, I sent it. This is something that happened. Weirdly enough, it's happening more this time. I guess it's because Vivi's a more prominent character than like Lucky Roo, but it's kind of the same problem you have when you hate on live action Disney remakes, which is a lot of people hate live action series because they introduce mainly black people. I was gonna be like, oh, and gay people, but I don't introduce that many gay people. It's maybe just black people. They introduce black people. And racists don't like that. There's a lot of racist anime fans who think Japan is like this holy wokeless ethno state or whatever the fuck they think it is.
The
Um,
woke
so
mind
when they
virus hasn't reached them yet. They still make
yes,
video games with pretty ladies in it, don't you know?
don't ask what the BL capital of the world is. It might be France now, but it might still be Japan. uh, basically, it's very annoying that I want to critique a bad thing because it's bad and soulless and a piece of shit. But when I do it, I get associated with racists because I don't like them. No, because like quite literally, Puff, when we were going through we were going through the casting. It's like, oh, Robin looks kind of young. That's interesting. Wonder why they did that. And then we got to Vivi, and we're like, yep, that looks like Vivi.
Yep. I think the reason why they made Robin younger is just to like future proof it, because like
Yeah.
if they truly do get to like adapt the whole entire story of One Piece, they're gonna be doing this for like
Well,
another
they're obviously
decade or
not
two.
going to, but
Yeah, but like
I don't know how far they
if
plan
that's
on
what they
getting.
want to do, if that's their plan, because I imagine they want to milk this as long as possible,
Yeah,
then like they'd want to get to the end. So like they might be stuck doing this for the next like 10, 20 years. So like I
yeah.
guess like like getting like a that's actually one way I think the live action could potentially be interesting 20 years
Because
down
if
the
the
line,
Straw
because
Hats have to age,
if they naturally age, that could be interesting, but also that like implies that they're going to get like 20 seasons or whatever. And at
yeah,
that
which
point
is
it's
not
like, is
happening.
that one interesting like Timbit like really all that? Is it really worth like watching the whole show? No. I wouldn't think
Yeah,
so.
it's a choice.
Yeah.
Live action bad.
It is. Anyway, this is one thing I predict they're going to do in season 2. I
Yeah,
think. Hold on. Maybe they won't. Depending on whether or not they get to Drum Island or not. Uh,
they do. Season 2 ends with Drum Island.
right. Yeah. Right.
Remember
Chopper.
Chopper? We got Chopper ad. Yeah.
Yeah. I was just wondering, like, if they do show the Drum, I I'll put money on this. I think they're gonna show the empty throne, and people are going to gas them for it so hard. They're gonna glaze the live action. Oh my god, guys!
That
They
sounds like
put the
something they do.
foreshadowing earlier than it was in the manga.
Yeah, because wow, hindsight 2020. Hey Puff, how funny would it be if this season also has like a needless marine meddling? Like Smoker is in every fucking arc.
Oh man, that sounds like something they
Smoker
would do.
shows up on Drum.
All right, no, this is what they're gonna do. They're gonna make Kobe and Smoker like partners. Like Kobe's like, Kobe, you're gonna be working under the Smoker guy from now on.
Puff, I hate that because that sounds conceptually hilarious, but I know they wouldn't make it funny.
Yeah,
Because conceptually, that sounds peak.
that does
I want
sound
the actual
amazing.
manga to do that. Um,
Honestly, I think
okay.
for like how like both of them are like Marines who like have an interest in Luffy. I'm surprised they
Mhm.
haven't interacted at all up until this
Yeah,
point.
I assume he's going to have them do it at some point.
Yeah,
Uh,
they'll just
anyway,
like
here I
shake
guess
hands, be
I'll
like, yes, they are cringe. Let's do a revolt.
yes. I guess I'll speed run my general thoughts on the trailer. Laboon is smaller but looks cool, so I don't really mind. Broggy's not fat enough, but I like that they actually made the giants giant. I was worried they weren't going to do that. I was worried they were going to do like a Game of Thrones giant or something. um, Logtown, it seems like Buggy set up a whole ass carnival in Logtown, and Puff and I had this thing where we thought, oh, that's really exciting. Then we remembered live action Buggy, and we're like, oh, no, it's not. Like, oh, that's so cute. He set up a carnival. We're like, oh, wait, it's live action Buggy. Um, uh, most of the casting seems pretty good. I mean, obviously, we can just go off of appearances now. I can't actually judge the acting quality yet, but everything seems fine so far.
They all look
Um,
like S tier cosplayers.
and
I'll
then
say that.
here's my actual I'm an elitist. There's a scene where where Luffy and the gang are walking around Whiskey Peak, and Luffy has pants on. Fuck you. Like here's the thing, I get he can't wear sandals because that's not reasonable for an action actor. Why is he not wearing shorts? Luffy wears shorts so stubbornly that he wore them to the wedding in Whole Cake Island and when climbing up Drum Island.
Yeah,
Luffy is a shorts man.
I know. Like again, like
I think I think he literally only wears pants and color spreads.
I've accepted that this is just a different Luffy. This is not my Monkey D. Luffy.
Well, yeah, I mean, it helps that he doesn't talk or act like Luffy.
Yeah.
Shanks told me that when it's cold, you have to cover up. A good pirate never gets sick. He's just a Boy Scout.
I think like 2 or 3 days ago we got a comment that was like, "Oh, haters gonna hate. You just keep like you were never gonna like the live action." I'm like, "Hey, dog, I'm sorry. I'll do the Speed Racer take again. You can make a good live action anime thing. Speed Racer is like a 10 out of 10 movie. One Piece is not a 10 out of 10
Oh
show."
no, Puff. Here's something I'll comment on with that. Is people always complain, it's like, anime fans when the adaptation isn't 1-to-1. It's like, no, it doesn't need to be 1-to-1. But when it's, for example, Puff, turning Syrup Village into a murder mystery manor, that is conceptually very cool. They fucked it up, but it was conceptually very cool.
Yeah.
Uh, having Luffy fight Buggy in a big top tent. That's a cute idea. It was lame and boring and felt like a shitty video game fight, but it's a fun idea, I guess. Um, Luffy meeting Arlong at Baratier is at least a neat idea. I think it would have been cooler if maybe he met like an Arlong pirate was eating there. I think that could be cute.
That
Like
would
he's like,
actually
"Hey
be kinda
boss, I
fun.
saw some spindly little kid beat up Krieg. That was funny." And Arlong's like, "How about that?"
Like I've said this, like my ideal version of live action would just be an adaptation of Stampede, just to get as many cosplayers on screen
Yeah,
as
I'd like that.
possible. And like that's not manga accurate or like or anything, but like it's what would do the most for me, I think.
Oh, Puff, you ready for an actual like evil hot take?
What?
You want to know a live action that isn't
Are
bad,
you
but I think
racist?
is leagues above most other live action solely because it does something.
What? Death Note?
A few moments later.
Because it's not Death Note but live action. It's Death Note, but what if Light was American? And that is an attempt at something. There's differences. Light isn't beloved by Misa because he's good at grades. Light fawns for Misa because she's a cheerleader.
You're cutting out a lot.
Elle has to give these big, serious speeches in front of crowds because that's what's expected of American law enforcement. Like, that's interesting.
You've been cutting out for like the past minute.
Why?
I don't
My
know, but
internet's
anyway,
fine.
like I literally
I'll leave
said,
it
like
going.
I literally the last thing I said was like, is it Death Note? And then like you cut
Yes.
out.
Okay, yes, it is Death Note.
Okay.
Because Light but American is, while not good, it's interesting. Am I still cutting out?
No, you're still good.
Okay, good. No, it's interesting. Misa's a cheerleader who Light fawns for instead of her fawning for him because he's smart. Like, all that's interesting. It's not good, but it's an interesting take. They did something with it. It's an adaptation.
Yes. Like, all right, I have no idea
prefer more
whether or
shit
not.
like that.
Yeah, I have no idea whether or not the Speed Racer like movie is accurate to the original show or not.
It's not.
I doubt because again, like it's
He's
a
a
whole
better person than
yeah.
anime Speed Racer.
Yeah, no, like without a doubt, obviously, but like I just like, but like the movie itself, I just think is like amazing. Like again, just visually from like an action and like standpoint, it is so great, and also the movie's like funny and charming on top of it, and so it's just wonderful. It's a good movie. You know, like again, people always like, "Oh, One Piece live action broke the live action curse by being good, by being a fucking 3 out of 5 show." I'm like, dog, Speed Racer has always been here. It's always been here, but no one cares because you don't care about Speed Racer, but I do.
Yeah.
Even though I haven't seen the original anime, I've only seen the live action movie.
I've seen the original anime. It's not faithful at all, but it's fun. So, like, you know, it's kind of all that matters.
Yeah.
Whereas that's the other thing is like the One Piece remake is clearly trying to like put spice on it, but it's still trying to overall be faithful.
Yeah.
Like it adapts the same arcs. So when it adapts the Baratier arc and it fucking sucks ass at establishing any of the important themes or conflicts in the Baratier arc, I can call that dog shit.
Yeah. I wonder if this is like a little different, but like I think I'm just thinking this way because I've been binging a bunch of superhero stuff ever since Superman came out.
Mhm.
Like again, like you can just like make a story with the same characters and mix around whatever you want as long as it's good and suits whatever like you know like medium you're using. Like make it good and
It's
it'll
funny,
be
you know
good,
what's an
right?
actual example of that?
What?
Every non-canon One Piece movie, so all of them.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, what if the Straw Hats dicked around into this stupid fucking thing?
But no, like obviously, like the point of the live action is just the novelty of it. Like that's what it's being sold. It's like, oh, it's Alabasta, but real this time. It's Arlong Park, but real this time.
But real, whoa, yeah,
And yeah,
and
you know
I hate it.
that's the only thing it really has going for it is novelty. I think.
Yeah, I don't value it.
Yeah.
Woo, what's woo?
Yeah. Now that we've
I
shit
hope
on the
we
live
keep
action for
scaring
like
off One Piece wankers. I hope we keep scaring them off.
yeah, now that
Or the
we've
brave stick around anyway.
we're so brave for talking about how much we hate the live action. We're so brave.
No, I mean the brave ones. No, the brave fans who stay, even though we're gonna keep making fun of the thing they like.
All right, now that we've shit on the live action for the 10th time, did you know the Crocodile wanted to make the world a better place?
Were you listening to that whole podcast? How'd you get that clip?
I listened to the whole podcast.
Is it true that Ohara acts more like a human being in that?
Oh, absolutely. Like he sounds like he did like with the again like with Morge on the One Report way
Oh,
back
he's
in the day.
smart again. Let's
You know, like
go.
he just sounds like a normal guy. I think that was just like a slip on. I honestly think this was just a slip on the tongue of his part when he's naming villains who like
No,
want to make the world a
I
better
think it's
place.
because he's had to push so many stupid agendas in his videos. He kind of just says groupings without thinking about them.
Yeah,
But
I
he
think
said
literally he said like
Crockett.
villain. I think he said
Yeah,
One
he
Piece
said
villains and just immediately Crocodile's the first person he thinks of.
because he said Crocodile, Kaido, and Big Mom want to change the world and turn it into a better place. In order, Big Mom thinks she does. Big Mom has a brain dead idea of equality, but she's the closest to actually thinking and wanting that. Next, Kaido wants to change the world into one he'd like more,
I'd say
not a
like
better
it's clear
place.
that like Wanda he wanted to change the world, but like he kind of gave up and just kind of thought like I'll just cause like a big war and have
Yeah, no, like that
everybody's
would still
death.
change the world. It make it ass, which it already is.
Yeah.
But
If
and
he
then
wins, it's
last
ass.
is
If he loses, he gets the death he won. Like again, he gave up trying to actually like make it better.
yeah. No, I'll just say what I said to you, which is Kaido and Big Mom wanted to change the world. Crocodile just wanted a big gun.
Yeah, no, like what? He wasn't gonna change the world. All he wanted was to become a ruler of a country and get a big gun. That's all he was
so that
going
he could
for.
then blow up his opponents and get the One Piece.
I guess he would change the world by blowing up Whitebeard, but
Yeah,
like
but like
that's
that's
not
not
gonna
his
make it
end
better.
goal. Like he doesn't want to. He doesn't have of an idea of a world that he wants.
Yeah. That was just funny. I, honestly, like, I don't want to like say like, oh, what a shitty opinion to it, because this is a podcast setting, like
No, he
off
misspoke. Like
off the cuff, he
this is
probably
not
misspoke.
serious Ohara criticism. This is just kind of
Yeah,
laughing at him because it was a funny thing to say.
yeah.
Serious Ohara criticism is like his rat art, which I think is like the worst thing he's done.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. So we have one more before the big one, and it's about this mom that we keep getting comments about. The one who's
Yeah,
like,
okay. So to clarify, I am not listening to the podcast. I'm fucking lazy. But based on what I've heard about her, I'm sure she's an incredibly smart person who does give interesting analysis. I think the problem's you guys. Because you guys keep saying, oh, she understands One Piece in a thematic way and understands the mythology that Oda's using. That's how she makes such genius predictions. And then, after like 8 of you commenting, we have finally pieced together her prediction, which is she thought the full. First of all, it's funny how a lot of you were vague with like what deity she was talking about. Because her theory was that One Piece was going to have like characters that represent slash are like the 4 cardinal direction deities, which you guys are acting like, oh, look at this kind of obscure thing you might not know. Guys, I've seen Code Geass.
and
I've
also
seen Code Geass. I've read Twin Star Exorcists. I've read the first 20 chapters of God of High School.
yeah, but anyway, like if you've been in like the One Piece community for all, you've probably realized that that's like an old theory. Like I think like it was popular, and then like it really took off after like Kaido was revealed to be the Azure
Yeah.
Dragon.
Oh, I've seen the original Beyblade, where the original 4, their 4 bays are the 4 types.
Yeah,
Also, I've seen Yu Yu Hakusho, where the first time they go to the demon world, that's what they fight. Also, I've played Pokemon Black and White, where the Therian versions of the trio are based on that. They don't have the colors. Oh no, the colors are the gems. Did you know that, Puff?
nice.
Like Landorus, Tornadus, and Thunderous, when they turn into their Therian forms, one turns into a tiger with a white gem, one turns into a bird with a red gem, and one turns into a giant air quotes dragon with a blue gem.
Air
And then what
quotes.
everyone pointed out, yeah, that's
Yeah,
neat.
then like the fourth one is a turtle with a black gem, right?
Yeah, which we got in Legends Arceus.
Yeah.
And everyone pointed out, oh wait, QRM is a dragon with a gold gem. Point being, so her theory was that One Piece was going to have characters that symbolize Suzaku, Byakuya, Genbu, and Seiryu. Which is a completely valid theory at first, because she noticed that there are 4 blues named after the 4 cardinal directions, and then we leave the East Blue meeting Dragon. It's like, okay, that's a fair guess. But then she learned about the emperors and thought, oh, okay, these are going to be the 4 cardinal directions, which was a safe guess. Because
Yeah,
the
because
only
like
2 we knew at first were red hair Shanks and
and
white
white
beard.
beard.
Red pheasant, white tiger. That's a fair guess. And then she also thought Luffy was going to be the god in the center, which I think is usually a golden dragon. a Koryu, but I don't think that's always the case. So I'm not going to say what it has to be golden though. I think that's a rule. And guys, and that's how she predicted Kaido, because she thought, oh, well, the other two have to be Seiryu and Genbu, and she guessed Kaido would be Seiryu. Literally 50-50 chance.
Yeah.
And guys, here's the thing. Wow, that is a very fair, educated guess, and I'm sure she has smart analysis. She was wrong. She had a wrong theory.
The problem is
that's
that
it.
there's no like black turtle, and if you saw oh it was Blackbeard, then like okay, then what's Big Mom now? Like, how does Big Mom fit into this whole thing now?
The black turtle eats the white tiger.
Yeah, so like I guess that like could have been Blackbeard, but then again, like what's Big Mom now? Like what do we do with her?
Yeah, no. I'm fully sure that she is, if she's gotten that far, has realized that her theory, even though it was a pretty fair one, is kind of bunk now. Which is that there's nothing wrong with that. It's just everyone's like, huh, she understands the story on an analytical way because how she understands mythology, and it's like she happened to guess Luffy would had a godlike role because she thought Luffy would be the center god and the four cardinal direction gods, which was wrong.
It's kind of like people like
Also, I'm pretty sure she said Luffy would be a god partially because the chat was making God Usopp jokes. So like outside influence. And then with Kaido Seiryu, what's funny is people also undercut her. All they said was she guessed Kaido's was to be a dragon. It's like, no, she guessed the exact mythological dragon by complete fucking accident.
Yeah, like it's kind of like, again, like you can get it right, but that doesn't mean like your
like
method
that doesn't
was
mean
correct.
that like. Yeah, because it's like, oh, it's the understanding of mythology that helps her understand the story. And it's like, I'm sure that's true in a lot of cases, but also not in this case because the emperors are not based on those.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's an old theory. Like you could find like a 7 or like an 8-year-old Joy Boy theory called like the Monkey God Awakening that just predicts that Luffy secretly has a mythical Zoan fruit. And like obviously a lot of the details he put in the theory were wrong, but like that one idea, Luffy is secretly a mythical Zoan, turned out to be true.
Yeah.
Does that mean he based it on like solid evidence or like he made a good case for it? No.
To clarify, her theory is not as crazy as Joy Boy Monkey God. Joy Boy Monkey God is stupid. The four cardinal directions thing is like a perfectly valid guess.
Yeah. So like first off, like predicting this gets way more complicated when we're talking about like predicting a story, but like easy comparison is like a math test, right? You get marks not only for your conclusion but also for doing your work and making sure your work makes sense and that you reach
which is like, guys, I'm sure she's smart, but the example you've given doesn't show her understanding the story. It just shows her making a lucky guess on accident, which is fine. Everyone does that when reading a story. It's normal.
Like we guess
so
that,
I'm sure the podcast is very interesting and I'm sure she's very smart, but you guys are not giving your best examples.
All right. So we're gonna end this off with a Morge video.
Woo! Morge made a new video. Oh no,
Yay.
The horror.
My favorite boy.
Morge's new video is Blackbeard has living rocks inside him. All evidence. And here's the thing. Before Puff and I watched this, we said, what's the evidence besides non-binary Blackbeard? Because that's the only evidence we know.
Yeah.
And we watched it, and what's funny is his evidence. First of all, Morge's thing he always does,
right,
he's
like,
this will 100% convince you.
Yeah, but like, things, did he even bring up the they-them scene in Law?
No, he didn't. No, remember, we laughed about that.
Yeah, and then I added this to the soundboard because of it. You missed the biggest one! Yeah. He missed the biggest, easiest one! I'm just gonna play that now whenever I'm watching a theory and they miss the most obvious point in the world.
Yeah, because that is the thing. It's just non-binary Blackbeard is the reason Blackbeard has a different personality, even started as a theory in the first place. And then let's go through his actual fucking evidence. Remember, he posted this as all evidence that will undeniably convince you without a doubt that this is the truth, that Rocks is in Blackbeard. Which, for the record, is like a fine theory. Like, I don't love or hate it. Like, it might happen.
But, like, again, why not just say, this is my theory, this is...
No, I know why. It's for hyperbole, and I won't judge him too much for it. It's like, when he gets to be that hyperbolic, we get to point out that his evidence is kind of mid. Evidence one. Evidence one. The reason that Blackbeard has a weird body. This is true. What's weird is he's specifically using a panel that says, like, Blackbeard's physical form is weird, But then his theory is personalities, which is, unless you think this is JoJo Part 5, different personalities doesn't make your body weird.
No.
Your body's still normal. You still have a normal body. And then following that is his claim that, oh, well, Doflamingo brought up the personality swap and the immortality as two busted things. He clearly did this because each of the two final villains will have one of these two powers, which is like maybe, or maybe, these are two powers that Doflamingo would want. Immortality, because he wants to live forever, and personality swap, because why would a manipulator not like that power?
Right, and also, like, up to this point, that is the most, like, weirdly impressive thing Law has done with his fruit was personality
Yeah.
swap. Because it's not just a big, cool anime attack. It's, oh, you can do some fuck shit with this. This is weird.
Yeah. And we can assume you block it with hockey, otherwise he probably would have swapped like Dofi and Treble's personalities, and then they would have negged them that fight.
And the thing is, like, that also, like, you know, like, it does have, like, lore implications, the personality swap, because, like, again, like, you know, we've learned, like, okay, so if two people swap bodies, the Del fruits don't get transferred over. So, like, it's not tied to, like, your soul or, like, your mind or personality or whatever. It's tied to your physical body.
But then Morge says that two souls is how Blackbeard eats two devil fruits. Each soul gets a devil fruit. But as we saw with Smoker and Chopper, when their souls, or we're saying souls, personalities is what it is, when their personalities swap bodies, the devil fruit stays in the physical body. It doesn't go with the personality.
Yeah. Frankie
So,
couldn't
like,
control Monster Point, and Tashigi didn't know how Smoker's Logia powers work. Like, this is stuff
and
that
Smoker
happened.
inside Tashigi's body could not turn into smoke.
Yeah.
So, while it's still possible, the evidence we have leans against that idea. It leans against the idea that personalities can have different devil fruits. It leans more towards devil fruits are tied to your physical fucking body.
Yeah.
Which is why I much prefer, like, if Rox is, like, controlling Blackbeard. The idea that, I don't know, maybe he had Mads do something to him. Even that makes more sense. And then next, oh, what the he said so much shit, I'm losing
All
it.
right.
What else did he say?
Anime never develop already dead villains.
Oh yeah, he did say that. And then immediately, one of the biggest manga of the last few years is Jujutsu Kaisen, where we have Toji and Kenjaku. Kenjaku, who's dead for the entire series, but gets heavy development in hidden inventory. And then Toji, who gets heavy development in hidden inventory. And then technically comes back, but he comes back to fight as like basically a brain dead mercenary, and then kills himself after walking like 3 feet. So like, came back.
Yeah, like
Came
basically the
back.
point is whenever there's an extended flashback arc, odds are you're going to get a villain who's kind of well developed. Like it's not that
Yeah, and like
unusual.
they might die.
Like we're reading Magi right now. This is a guy named David.
He's pretty important.
Yeah.
But he does come back, kind of, sort of.
Yeah, kind of, sort of.
No,
He doesn't
but
ever come back to
basically,
life.
he's right
Though.
that it is rare for a dead villain to get this much development. But also, there is an obvious answer, which is Rox is presumably Blackbeard and Loki's motivation. So, by learning about him, we're learning about the main cast. The same reason we learn about Herolook. Herolook is Chopper's motivation. Belmare is Nami's motivation, like very deeply tied to it. And
Yeah.
Blackbeard is important, so we're learning about it, and so is Loki. And Puff, if you think Loki's going to be a Straw Hat, then that already answers the question of why we're learning about Rox. Also,
boy.
Rox is not the. Also, another thing, Rox is not the POV character at all.
No.
Loki was for a little bit. Harold was for a little bit. Now we're kind of just dicking around.
Yeah,
Rox
like,
wasn't even there for most of last chapter.
Yeah,
he showed up and said, "What the hell is going on?"
Yeah, no, we're kind of just flipping through a bunch of different perspectives, really.
Yeah. So that's it's such a yeah. It's just like it's possible, but like the evidence doesn't lean the way he says it does. The other thing is also
we didn't get to the
oh
funniest
no, we'll
thing.
get to that. Also, the other next thing he says is that the two souls thing. Again, his whole theory hinges on two souls, which is funny because it's never been shown that Law can do that. Like he could, but it's never been shown. And then Puff, we were not doing the funny thing yet. We gotta do one more, which is Rox was born to wield the Quake fruit.
Yeah, because you know he based this point off of Rox's sword style and how it was compared to like more like getting hit with a hammer and it was so destructive and all that. It's like, oh, dude, if this is the most Gura-esque sword style. So if he had the Gura fruit on top of it, it would be like Gura squared. Whoa.
But then the immediate two things we said are, one, isn't that just true for any brawler? Like, doesn't that also apply to Garp or Roger for that matter? And then
Yeah.
two, okay, if Rox's swordsmanship was made to be used with the Gura Gura no Mi, why does Blackbeard not have a sword?
Yeah. Again,
Like
especially
that.
because like it's part of his master plan is to get like the Gurgur fruit and become the next rocks or whatever.
Well, even post time skip, when he's had it for 2 years, he doesn't have a sword.
Yeah.
So like that's
Also,
weird.
why would like having a more like blunt sword style immediately make the Gurgur fruit better? Is that how that works? Have we seen a Del fruit
Yeah,
work in
it's
that way?
very confusing. Also, the other thing that I said is if we wanted to see if we wanted to, because he's like in our heads, we're supposed to tie the Gura fruit to rocks, which is like no, we're not. Rocks did a fucking heavy hockey slash. Roger has also done those. Yeah, because a lot of people compared what Rocks did to like a meaner Divine Departure, which is the connection I also made. Uh, Whereas like if we wanted to associate Rocks with the Gura fruit, why not have Rocks have it and then die, and then that's when Whitebeard gets it?
Yeah, but like we he has in the flashback. Whitebeard already has this fruit, so like where does this come from?
Yeah, yeah, because like no, literally, if Oda wanted us to associate Rocks with Gura fruit, he would either add like a line or something where Rocks is like, "Oh, I wish I had that fruit," or "Damn, that fruit's awesome." Like even just him saying it's awesome, but he doesn't. And again, Oda could, if he wanted to, have had Rocks already have the Gura fruit and then lose it when he dies. He didn't have to give it to Whitebeard early. He chose to.
Yeah, because like we didn't learn like if Whitebeard had this fruit yet or not, like at this point in time. Because
No,
like
he
before
chose
this,
to
yeah,
reveal that.
before this point in time, the furthest we saw back we saw Whitebeard with the fruit was the Odin flashback, which was like years
Mhm.
after Rox's death.
Now's the final one. How did Blackbeard scar Shanks? First of all, here's our answer. Guys, I don't know if you remember this, but when Blackbeard fought Shanks, or when Blackbeard fought Ace, he punched Ace once, and Ace went, "Holy shit, the bones in my neck are breaking. What the hell?"
Yeah,
Because
and
Blackbeard is very physically strong.
yeah,
And then also this was 10 years ago. But then don't worry, Puff. Morge actually figured out that Shanks has been a hockey god since he was 15 because he used Divine Departure at age 15. Source. There's that interview Oda did where he answered like 10 fan questions. One was, how did Shanks learn Divine Departure? And the quote was like, all of the Roger Pirates were shocked that he learned it because he was self-taught. And then the two interpretations of this are, he did it later. The Roger Pirates found out and were like, "Whoa, that's impressive," or he did it while he was on the Roger Pirates, and which like I get why you think that because it says all, but also it's kind of vague and it wasn't a very serious interview. You shouldn't take it that seriously. It's not very good
yeah.
evidence.
Also, like again,
But
like it said he was self-taught, so like if he learned it like while
if
Roger was
he,
still alive, that would be
it's like, wow,
weird.
Roger, you're a real jackass.
Yeah, and like the crew disbanded like after before Roger died even. So like what would the timeline for that look like? Like
Yeah, I don't know. And then we checked and the only two sources that outright say Shanks was definitely 15 are a Game Rant article, and then doesn't even say definitely, but says he was 15, is Sandman. So, clickbait article, uh,
and
clickbait
Twitter
grifter.
Goblin.
Yeah. Like again, it could be because it says the whole crew was shocked, but also I feel like there's pretty obviously some wiggle room here. It was a fucking interview, and also it's not that serious. And also, sure, let's say Shanks learned Divine Departure, right?
Yeah.
Are you telling me it's as strong as Rogers?
Yeah, is he already Roger level or like is it so hard to imagine he just has a weaker version of Divine Departure at this
Yeah,
point?
because like the idea, because like I'm willing to believe that maybe Shanks could use Conquerors at a young age. One, because Ace did, and two, there are kids born being able to subconsciously use hockey.
Yeah.
Big Mom can do it by crying. That kid, Isa, is that her name?
Yeah,
Ibis?
Isa.
One's Can, one's Filler. I always mix them up. Was able to have like island range observation hockey subconsciously. She couldn't even control it.
Or like here's
So
a
yeah,
better example I think. Zoro learned how to use hockey, like this was made retroactively, but like he learned how to use hockey in the Mr. One fight. Does
yeah.
that mean that
Well, no,
his one hockey attack lion song is like as strong as it is today in
no,
the
that
post
wasn't
time?
the argument I
No,
was making. No,
I
the
know,
argument I
but
was making is that I'm willing to believe maybe Shanks was adept at hockey, and then if he is, being adept at hockey doesn't mean you're a high tier.
Yeah,
I
but
think an easier example, Puff, is Gear 2 Luffy versus Sandersonia and Marigold.
yeah, you have like forms of hockey, but it's not
And
stronger
they
than
had
Luffy.
Rio.
Well, like
They
I
had
just mean
Rio.
the Zoro one is such a good example because like literally you can look at 2 points in time in which Zoro is vastly stronger than he is, but he still uses the same attack.
Yeah. So it's just like I don't think it's like the Rasengan where once you know it, you know a broken technique. So just like I fully believe that Blackbeard, being a fairly strong guy, could have injured Shanks many years ago, where even if Shanks had divine departure, I don't think it has to be as strong as it was today. Because also, he does this thing where he acts like Blackbeard is like so bad in physical combat. And the two examples he gives are the Ace fight, which is so disingenuous because
Well,
Blackbeard
literally, I
is
was going to
fucking.
say that like literally Blackbeard was winning the fight because he was punching the shit out of Ace, like
Yeah,
literally.
because once he and Ace both don't have their devil fruit powers, so, it's not like he was hitting Ace with like darkness blasts. So once him and Ace are forced to just throw hands, Blackbeard is infinitely better at throwing hands than Ace. And then he got overpowered by Whitebeard. Okay, also Whitebeard did use the Gura fruit on him. Like
Yeah.
he negated it, but Whitebeard was still also like he's like, haha, Whitebeard, I negated your power. And then Whitebeard hit him with a Basento, and he went, ah, fuck. And then he hit him with the Earthquake Fruit, and he's like, ah, fuck. Also, by the way, he got hit with the Earthquake Fruit and didn't die, showing
Yeah.
he's pretty physically
Also,
strong.
again, another fight that like shows how physically strong Blackbeard is when he fought Luffy briefly and Impel Down. Like Luffy hits him, and then he literally just grabs Luffy and like smashes him into the ground. They show that physically speaking, Blackbeard is plenty strong.
Yeah, like I think it's pretty fair to say that, like, obviously I'm not saying he's shown to have like Big Mom level strength or something, but like the idea that Blackbeard is supposed to be viewed as someone feeble who's like inept without his devil fruit is like, no. He's a physically strong guy. The reason the darkness fruit worked so well on him is because when he and his opponent can't use their devil fruit powers to blow each other up, he's probably going to win.
No, like literally because he's a good grappler. He grabbed
Yeah,
you and then he
literally. He
slammed
can
you.
throw hands.
Also, like again, this is a lot later in the timeline, but like when he fought Hawk, who can like cut the Amazon Lily in half, he's able to block his sword with just his arm with hockey. So like he's not like shit when it comes to hockey either.
Yeah, he's not a bitch. Uh,
So
so
like
it's
yeah,
just like
like
it's not hard.
even if you're
And
like
again,
hard
this was
line.
10 years ago, or
Yeah,
however long.
no, even if
15,
you're
10.
hard
It was a
line,
long
like
time
no,
ago.
no,
Not 10 years ago.
15
It's
years
fucking-
old. No,
yeah.
no, 15-year-old Shank has to be super epic master strong. He has to be like admiral tier or whatever the hell. What if Shank still won the fight, but Blackbeard still gave him a scar? Like, is that also an impossible outcome?
Yeah. So just like again, it's possible Blackbeard has a scary, secret, stronger personality, or maybe he doesn't. We do gotta give Morge credit for one thing, Puff. He never said Blackbeard has an inconsistent personality.
Oh, thank God! I was waiting for that the
Because
whole
that
video.
would have, because he's not that stupid. Right? Wait, actually, yeah, okay. Yeah, because Shanks got to Fuchsia Village 12 years ago. So it was what? Like fucking, yeah, like at least 13 years ago.
Yeah, it's so weird that like, oh no, he couldn't have given him the scar, even though apparently later after that he lost his arm to the Sea King, which definitely did happen on screen. You can finagle whatever explanation you want, but like it's physically possible for the thing to bite his arm off, even if like he wasn't like, oh, he didn't have his hockey ready
Yeah,
or
so
whatever.
Blackbeard should be physically capable of scarring Shanks.
Yes,
I
this
just
is a
think Blackbeard is
physically
weaker than the
possible.
Sea King.
Maybe they had a prolonged fight and Shanks ran out of hockey or whatever the hell. Like you can finagle 10 billion explanations without
Yeah,
trying.
because again, we don't know the fight. All we know is that Shanks said, I was taking it seriously.
Yeah.
Which does make the idea that Blackbeard did a trick even funnier. It's like, oh, I guess you weren't taking it that serious. Did you not see a trick coming?
Oh no, he deviously placed a banana peel behind me before the fight started. Oh
No,
no.
oh, if only I had my observation hockey active. So just yeah, it's a bad video. That's more just thing, make it mid theory, but then make a horrible video defending it.
Yeah. All
Uh,
right. Comments.
Wait, no, before comments, you got enough.
Hmm.
We watched a funny joke video about like
Oh, right,
the
yeah,
One
this
Piece
one.
narrator isn't reliable. Oda should fire him and hire Whitebeard, which is a funny video. But he did one thing that I feel like he should have revealed at the end, but he didn't, which is he says the narrator is lying. Roger's head was not cut off. And how Roger died in the manga is actually kind of vague, but if you zoom in on the panel of him dying, you see a little dot above his body, and it's like, oh, did his head pop off? And it's like, it's maybe. It's hard to really tell.
It's most definitely, I'd say, because like when they tried to execute Ace the same way, they did go for his neck.
That's
so
fair. And then, so that happened. And what's funny is he shows that. He shows a zoomed out version of the execution. And if you look really closely, you can see a little speck where Roger's head is. But then when he zooms in on it, he edited the head out, which is funny because it's a joke video, but he doesn't reveal he did that.
yeah.
So just if you don't know, he just tricked you, which is funny. Just straight up tricking your audience is hilarious.
Yeah.
But
The thing is, if this was like a real theory, this would have been more scummier than Ohara's rad art because it is literally like editing manga panels to suit your purposes.
yeah. Instead, it's just like it's a very funny video, and I get why he did that, but it's like I think it'd be kind of funny if you revealed it at the end at least.
Yeah. All right.
Right, way on to fucking comments.
Woohoo! Yeah, let's do it. 300
Alright,
comments. Let's go.
We're not reading all of them.
Plus whatever's under the Batman v Superman video.
Let's see here. There's like none there. Apparently, the straw hat flag's being recognized as a terrorist symbol in Indonesia because people are using it to protest the government. That's awesome. That's so cool. I'll puff another woke Oda. The top ranks of the Marines are based on Yakuza. Or like actors playing Yakuza characters. Oh, what's that? The Marines are just another form of organized crime? Yeah. The thing I'll say about woke on accident is there's a large subset of people who treat the series like Das Kapital Volume 4. That is funny. I do like people who treat One Piece like their Communist Manifesto. It's very funny.
Yeah.
You do that, champ. What do y'all know about WokeED pronouns? I know it's a Twitter account with an innately hilarious name.
I don't know anything about them.
It's a funny name. That name is enough for me to laugh. Let's see here. The Venn diagram of people who want movies about non-canon Straw Hats and people who want canon movies are basically a circle. Yep. They just want a bunch of canon OVAs, which I don't.
I mean, like maybe like if it's like the manga's
if it's
over,
unimportant.
If the manga's over, like
once the manga's over, everything's
like,
fucking free.
Go ahead, man, go ahead.
Yeah.
Expand on things that never got touched. Why not?
Here it is. Someone is bringing up the whole thing with clones versus originals, and it's like people acting like old man Vegapunk isn't dead because the other Vegapunks are still alive, and it's like, no, those are very clearly different people at this point, and the original Vegapunk is fucking dead.
Unless you want to count like his brain and to be like, oh, that's alive, but then the Stella's dead. Like Stella's dead, but quote unquote Vegapunk is still alive because of the big brain.
Let's see here.
Like, but that's like a technicality at that point.
I like when people are like Sanji versus Lafitte agenda, and then someone's like Nami versus Lafitte is likely, and it's like, it's not likely. They're just navigators. That doesn't mean it's likely. Like, they could fight. I remember you said maybe he'll fight Brook because they dress nice and have canes.
Yeah, and like if he is the Siren, as some people predict he might be, because hypnosis.
Then music battle.
Yeah.
Oh, Tekking guessed the sun god.
Wasn't he called the Demon Sheriff? And Brook is the King of the Underworld. Whoa.
Someone said Tekking guessed that Road was the person who kidnapped the Straw Hats by looking at his boots. That's funny. I guess I ignored that because the last time boot discourse happened, it was Gin coming back, and I wasn't taking it seriously. So when it came back, I just blocked it out.
This was brought up in the podcast he was talking about. I think they didn't have images for this, so like I'm not sure, but like they said that like Tekking said that Road's boots kind of looked like what the sun god was depicted wearing sometimes, like so like like the fact that this is like a fake sun god, like maybe it's like, ooh, maybe that has something to do with maybe it's Road. I mean, that is kind of weird that like clearly Road's a character we've only seen in one like page ever, on one cover page, and that's it. So memorizing what his boots look like is like, oh man, you've read this manga so much. I love you.
Yeah. Oh, and then someone pointed out that the problem with theorists is that they overcomplicate things. I think half of that is clickbait and half of that is because the theory's too old. Like they brought up how the mystery man drinking with Crocus was pretty obviously Scopper and like Shiki was a safe second guess. But people were throwing out random ideas, including us. And the reason for that is because when the answer is obvious, it's kind of fun to have a bit of a wild card guess.
Yeah, like that's me and Yorkie. I was banking on Yorkie because I thought that was a fun answer.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, like, it's the type of thing where it's like, there's an obvious answer. So, like, when you just read the story through, you're like, oh, it's probably that guy. Then it's like, oh, I was right. I feel so smart. Or like, oh, it was that guy. How surprising.
Yeah.
But like, when you're waiting like 10 years for the reveal, then like you're just gonna resort to more complicated and weirder answers because you've been thinking about it for so long.
Let's see here. Um, let's see here. Oh, this is someone clarifying. We talked about someone who's like, people are being too nice to Loki. Um, let's see here. Oh yeah, Loki killed his mom's brother. Good. That first of all, it's implied. Second of all, good.
Yeah, the guy was
That guy
kind of a
sucked.
dick.
Like that guy, like Loki was, as far as I'm concerned, doing self-defense there. Uh, um, um,
Again,
and then
killing is
otherwise it's
bad
like
and all
no,
that,
but
but like
otherwise
it's
I do agree that like we can't portray Loki as this sad squishy boy. He's very clearly a kid who got mistreated. Think of him like a meaner Yusuke Urameshi. That's how you should think of him.
yeah. I mean, killing is bad and all that, but like, hey, if he was gonna kill someone, that's not the
No, the
worst
other shit he
person.
did was worse. Like interrupting peace meetings with wild animals is worse.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I feel bad for Gloriosa turning into Hancock 2.0. I think that's hilarious because it makes her as this old woman trying to guide Hancock so much funnier because it's her seeing herself in Hancock and hating
Yeah, it's like, oh
it.
my god, you're so embarrassing.
Oh, you're such a loser.
I think it would have been funnier if like she was just like a short Hancock, because like again she's already a short old lady, so if she was
Oh, I'd
short when
love if
she
she
was
was
on the
already tiny. That would all
yeah, that
be
would have
funny.
been great, like literally just like a miniature Hancock.
Oh, Puff, you put it at something funny where it's like the people who talk about how you need to cut down on characters and then fuse their roles is like they literally think it's Dragon Ball fusion. Like you're doing a character writing multiplier. Oh, Puff, that question about like what's a dropped gag you miss? Someone brought up the one Shiki, the one not Shiki, the one Frankie would do, where Frankie would be like, "I feel super" slash "I don't feel super great this week," because half of it was a meta commentary based on how well he was performing in episode slash chapter content, which is awesome, and I do wish Oda would do it again.
That's pretty cool.
Next, we've gotten like 5 of these. Whoa, how can Caribou not be a Teach stan when he was thinking about that person? It's like, okay, I agree that person is Teach. Caribou knowing that Blackbeard might be interested in an ancient weapon doesn't mean he actually fucking loves the guy. Just means Caribou's smart,
It means he knows he has something to gain if he talks to this very important person with the knowledge
which
he has.
fits what we think of. He's a fucking rat.
And again, he was sucking up to Luffy in Wano because he wanted a favor from Luffy. So if he wants a favor from Blackbeard, right? If
Yeah.
he wants a favor from the Blackbeard pirates, he can be like, "Hey guys, I love Tisha. I love your captain. Can you please get me off this island?"
Let's see here. Oh, this was a popular comment. It was just correcting you on the history of Israel versus Palestine. So I guess go read the top comment on the last video for that.
Yeah, I'll say this. I want to try not talk about that too much because I don't want Evil Puff to get
Oh no, no,
political.
that's fair. No, it was just because of Superman.
Yeah, because of Superman. I think we got like literally a comment like today or yesterday about that too.
Yeah, we did. We got a Zionist comment today, which is very funny. I'll ignore them. Um, let's see here. I know Roger slander has been around forever at this point, but do you think Oda will ever make one of the big One Piece characters like Shanks or Roger turn out to not be the same characters we think they are? I think we could have like a Dumbledore type thing where like this person we've always assumed is a great man is a lot more flawed than we thought.
Yeah, like I can imagine like maybe I don't know, maybe I was gonna say like
Shanks.
Shanks, like, but
I
like it
think that's
feels like
more likely for Shanks than Roger, because I think Roger being this pure embodiment of a dorky, fun-loving pirate is true.
yeah, he was just born in like the wrong time to like do
But
what had to be
Shanks,
done
maybe
or
Shanks
whatever.
does a couple fucked up things here and there. I could see that.
Yeah, but they've already sowed the seed with Shanks. Like, there's already reasons to be suspicious of him now and all that.
Hmm. Let's see here.
But if we're talking about like power scaling wise, where it's like, oh, if you think a character will be revealed and it turns out they're not a top tier, I think like not really.
That kind
No.
of already happened when all you people thought Orochi was gonna fight Zoro.
Yeah, but like that feels like a fake example because it's like it's not like Orochi was being built up for like so long. It's like they name dropped him once and then like a few months later we met him.
Yeah, I can't believe you guys are refusing to acknowledge the clear Momonga upscale that Oda attended in 1156. They're kidding,
1156.
but it
Which
is
one
very
was
funny.
what happened in
I don't even know what
1156?
happened. I
I'm
don't
gonna
even know
look.
what happened.
I'm gonna speed read 1156 right
Like
now.
they're kidding, but I literally don't even know what they're referencing. Do we just not even notice Momonga when he does things anymore?
It's the flashback arc is the thing. So do they mean because Momonga like didn't fall for Hancock's
Oh,
like
because yeah, Momonga's stronger
Roger
than
did?
Roger.
Momonga's stronger
Yeah.
than Roger.
Wait, now he's stronger than Rocks. He's stronger than Rocks.
Yo, he is
Momonga's
stronger than
stronger than
Rocks.
Rocks. Let's go. Um. Um. No, what's funny is we got like someone who has the correct take on the cover story, which is sure the Yamato cover story is kind of long, but like usually don't you just look at it and think that's pretty cool or cute? And it's like, yes, that's what you think every cover story. You see you see Ulti and Page One making a giant snowman of Kaido, and you think, oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
um, let's see here. What is this in reference to?
What is it in reference to?
Oh no, it was just someone pointing out the whole thing of like complaining that the Gods Knight's regen isn't fair for the Straw Hats is silly because they can just simply not fight them.
Yeah. Or like again,
s-
maybe there's a way to circumvent it. Maybe they have a weakness or whatever. Like there's ways to
yeah,
write
yeah,
around it.
yeah.
So until it's like literally like a problem that we're it's not a problem for me.
About the movies not centered around the Straw Hats, I think a movie of the Rocky Port incident or God Valley would be pretty sick, right? No, God Valley's going to be in a flashback. Rocky Port incident is clearly just this event Oda made up for Law, Kobe, and Blackbeard.
I think it would be kind of fun if they did like an episode of like East Blue type thing for the God Valley incident, because like for the most part we've been getting it in like pieces. So like if
Oh, like
there's
one that actually like mashes. I
yeah
kind of like that for the Reverie too,
yeah like so if there was like
because the
a
Reverie's
movie
been
or
so
like
split up.
yeah if there was like a movie or like a TV special that like just took all the separate like little flashbacks that took place on God Valley, like Kuma's flashback, Harold's flashback, and like maybe we'll when we get their like final one with like actually shows of Roger versus Rocks and all that.
Like that's cool.
Yeah. Like
And then
once
yeah,
we
I'd
learn
like
about
one.
everything, like in the manga, if they just like crammed all those scenes and made just made it one continuous thing, was like this is the God Valley incident in totality, then like yeah, okay.
Yeah. I was debating with people on Twitter about why their One Piece was woke, and their counter argument is that the way women are drawn proves it isn't. Oh man, it's almost like there's nuances, and Oda can have progressive themes in his manga while still being a horny bastard.
I'm not even sure if it's like a horny bastard thing as much as it's just like his cartoony art style matched with the fact that like he's not that.
Well, no, Oda says regularly he loves drawing big tits, so
Yeah.
um, I think we could see a non-Straw Hat centric piece of media after the manga ends. Yeah, after the manga ends,
Absolutely.
fucking free game. Whatever they think of to make money. Let's see here. Black Clover, please. Once it ends, fucking absolutely.
Yeah, I'm interested.
Few new chapters dropped recently, and it was phenomenal again.
Oh,
love
I
Black
guess to give
Clover.
an update, Magi is probably gonna be a while because some people like reading slower than others.
Yes. Shut up.
Also, like, I guess for like a main channel update, I guess like I wanted to do a Magi video next because this has taken a bit.
Nice. That's
It's
fair.
been a while and I haven't worked on anything. Like
Now, Puff,
like
did you?
I have like a third of a script ready for Magi.
Yeah, but Puff, did you ever consider that Chas and I are really busy watching Boruto while we make fun of Mocha because he's like 3 gyms behind us on Pokemon Unbound Insane Mode?
No, I didn't. I take back everything I just said.
No, quite literally, that's what we're doing. We're doing a Pokemon Unbound Insane Mode, which is like a radical red level difficulty, and we accidentally like gapped him by like 5 bosses. So we've just been watching Boruto and being like, "You're doing it wrong. You're gonna lose that fight," while he battles the gyms on the side. We're not being very nice to him. Some guy make it. Oh, Puff, this is the awful film Red comment.
Oh, sick.
Okay, I'll read it. Having recently rewatched Film Red because I hated it after my first viewing, I still absolutely hate it. And not because I went in with some expectation of it being the Shanks movie. I hate it because everything it is on its own. I know this phrase is usually eye-rolling, but I can't say it any other way. Uta feels like a Mary Sue self-insert type character. The entire movie is about all of the ways Uta is wrong, exploring the ways Uta is wrong, and the movie ends with Uta dying to correct all the mistakes she made. On
Well,
what
Shiki,
planet?
have you considered that she has a father who's an important character and she's a top
Wow.
tier? How can you do
Most
both those things? How dare you do
No,
both
what's
those
funny is
things in one
most famous,
character?
beloved idol in the world. Everyone knows her. She's so awesome and great. Also, she's a childhood friend of Luffy, the daughter of Shanks. And her devil fruit is basically fuck you. She can do whatever she wants. She chooses to hate pirates and acts like she hates Shanks, even though she knows the truth. Isn't that so emotional and tragic? This is bad criticism that you can do with anything. You take a core important part of the story and you describe it sarcastically. This
Yeah.
is the greatest criticism of all time. No, it's not. You haven't said anything. And then as for the rest, does Uta sound kind of OCE? Yes, but that's because all movie villains do, because One Piece movie villains have to be so fucking important. Shiki is Roger's ex-rival, escaped impelled down, has the dumbest fucking fruit in the series for the sole reason that it can control water. Bullet is a scrappy
Dude,
young
Bullet
kid
is
Roger
the
took
most
in.
OC ass guy before Uta.
Bullet is a scrappy young man Roger took in and trained him. Uh, Zephyr is an
Oh,
ex-Marine
he's
who
an
doesn't like the
ex-admiral
current
with a
Marines,
giant robot arm. Look out for his
and
giant
he
sea
trained
stone
all of
robot
the
arm.
admirals. Tesoro. Tesoro's just sad, but it's also like a self-insert of like, oh, dude, he was one of Dofi's tortured slaves, and now he wants money so that he controls who. You can do this for any fucking movie
Yeah, like
character.
even if we just like accept that Uta being a Mirisu is a matter of fact, I don't mind that she's particularly strong because the movie wouldn't work if she wasn't.
Yeah,
Like how is a Luffy and Shanks team up going to work if Shanks can just show up and like defeat
yeah.
Uta with like a glare or whatever?
Next, the entire first half of the movie feels like basically nothing happening. Not only do the Straw Hats feel like they do less in this than they usually do in other movies, Luffy himself feels like he does nothing because no one is allowed to hit Uta the entire movie, so everyone has to wait until the big true evil demon shows up in the last 20 minutes. The action feels completely empty and meaningless. Early on, Luffy doesn't do anything, as in he literally doesn't want to fight Uta. Like, he physically doesn't want to.
Yeah, like there's a character reason there. Like why
Like,
don't you
there's a moment
investigate
where
it?
he walks away and says, I'm not fighting you.
Yeah.
And if you can understand why Luffy doesn't want to fight his friend who gave up on her dream and is now trying to get him to reject his, you probably also hate the Giath scene with Bellamy too, because it's kind of the same thing. Uh, and then Uta's not allowed to get hit the entire movie. Oh no, the villain was strong. I am crying.
I mean, you can say the same for Zoro. Like he never got hit until like the end of the movie, where it's like, all right, now that we can actually get
Yeah.
him, now that Zoro's no longer a
Or
hostage and all that.
Bullet miraculously stopping Bonnie from hitting her with her one-hit KO mechanic.
Hell yeah.
Like you literally see him like juggling her away so she doesn't do it. And then on top of all that, then also just like the action feels empty and meaningless. I think the action's awesome. Like the scene where she attacks the Straw
Right?
Hats, I
Music,
think is
dancing.
fucking yeah. I think the scene where she attacks the Straw Hats is awesome and fucking rad. Like Addo's voice picking up when Frankie does the fireball was fucking sick.
I
And it's also just like a
know.
very cool way to show that Uta's rage is completely overwhelming the Straw Hats. They got fucking murked.
Yeah, I know. Like again, like the lyrics and the dance scene itself does characterize Uta in this movie. So you know, it's
Yeah, the
not
lyrics are
nothing.
important. And it has this whole OMG, it's so canon because it's like totally foreshadow stuff in the manga, or people act that way about it. I mean, here's the thing: the idea that like Uta as a little kid that Luffy met is canon. I'm fine with that because it's like, oh, that's why Luffy wants a Mujisen. Isn't that cute? It changes nothing. It just literally the only change it makes is it adds an oh, isn't that cute?
Yeah.
That's nothing. So sure, why not? Stampede at least knew it was a shallow slop movie, and the scene of Usopp carrying Luffy has more emotional weight than the entirety of Film Red.
I do
I
not
love
agree.
people jerking off that one scene. Wow, Usopp supports Luffy? No fucking shit he does, you dumbass. He's always done that. This movie was some dumb glorified music video. There are a lot of really good music video scenes in it. Because that's what it is. The plot has to bend around itself to insert the songs in, and that'd be fine. You're talking like you didn't read the lyrics of the songs because the plot did not force itself to include the songs. the songs are literally explaining Uta's motivation and moving the plot forward. So literally, that Oda
Also,
released a little infographic where he explained how each song ties into Uta's motivation and feelings. Like literally, Oda released a
watch my
graphic
film red
explaining
video on
it.
my main. I actually got a comment asking like, "I give up. Where's your main channel video?" I'm just gonna say it. There's a link to my main channel on the top of every Evil Puff video. Also, I made a film red video if you're interested, in why I like it so much. And it's also, if we're talking about the plot of the movie. The plot of the movie is Uta wants to like use her music and just have everyone give good vibes to everyone through her music and all that. So that's gonna be part of the plot if her concert is an important thing to get all these people together in this room. And,
No,
or
but
like
also
not
here's the
not
thing: if
just
you
on the
don't,
island, but
if
like across the world on through the radios and all that.
no, but Puff, here I'll be nice about it. If you don't like Film Red because you don't vibe with Uta, that's fine. Because if you don't vibe with Uta, you're not gonna like Film Red because it's about Uta.
Like no one has to
But
like
if you
film red.
actually,
That's fine.
but if you actually try to engage with it and you look at the interesting ways that Uta shows kind of Shanks' failure as an author, and also the core differences between her and Luffy when it comes to freedom, and how at the end the big fight is really cool because Luffy is kind of embodying the freedom that Uta is rejecting, and Shanks is embodying the love and friendship that Uta is rejecting, and that's why Luffy goes Gear 5 in that movie. And also there's that one scene where Uta looks like Joy Boy and is called an idol because she's also trying to bring freedom to the world, and oh my fucking god, I love the word so much.
Right? Failed Joy Boy, another failed Joy Boy. Let's go. Let's keep adding
Unironically,
onto the
she's a good
pile.
one. And then they added it with someone bitched at me for discussing the popular headcanon that Nami is lesbian. They're obviously going to get mad at you. You can just stay secure knowing you're more right than they are. Nami is gayer than she is straight.
Right?
That
As
is a
long
fact.
the evidence, the preponderance of evidence is on your side. Will it get canonized? Probably not, but it
No.
might not get debunked
No, Puff,
either.
that's just love the statement I love making. She is gayer than she is straight, because that is true.
It is true.
Because Nami's never acted straight. Once. Unless, like, you can't do her seducing Sanji. It's very obvious why she's doing that. She wants free drinks. And then called it woke bullshit. How the fuck do people like that get into One Piece is beyond me, because they like cool fights.
Yeah, like again, like I said this like way earlier. I think that I did this the first time we were talking about the live action, like the first Bad Moms opinion. I don't care if like the live action gives people like the wrong impression of the story or whatever, because I know people caught up with the manga who have the wrong impression of
Oh
the
yeah, they're
story and
stupid.
characters.
Oh yeah, Puff, we can talk about this this interesting thing people bring up, which is when Kuzan talks to Doflamingo, is this reflection in his glasses supposed to be Eden? And it's like, I don't know. What's interesting is a lot of the ones I see, Eam has two eyes, but I feel like a lot of them also don't have that. So maybe
uh,
that's like a scan quality
do you have
thing.
like the pictures with you or something or?
Sorry, I sent them in voice chat general instead of making a video general. Look at them.
Oh, okay.
Those are the two.
I see it, and
The eyes only seem to be there half the time, so I'm not sure if that's a scan quality thing or what.
yeah.
So just is that intentional? Maybe. Maybe Odo had already cocked up Eam by then. That's entirely possible. Um,
Yeah.
Apparently in the last episode they may have shown Garling's face in the reflection of Bonnie Sapphire, but it's unclear. Um, didn't the world government memory hold most of Rox's operations from Fistory? Because if that's the case, Foxy shouldn't even know about Davy back fights. I trust the legendary Foxy Davy back fight scholars.
Also, I
I
imagine
trust.
like Dave Affleck's go back way further than Rocks. Like it's not just him who was doing it.
Yeah. Well, also just like basically, we wouldn't hear that peanuts have never been done before if rocks did them. Like the entire point of telling us peanuts never happened is to let us know they've never happened. Like, why else include the line?
I mean, like it's not impossible that like they're being an unreliable narrator or whatever. But like, if I had to choose one side, I'm gonna go with what the manga has given me so
Yeah.
far.
I think Luffy
Also,
should eat
remember
the
Foxy
moon
is
and
kind.
type.
How old is Foxy again?
Same age as Blackbeard, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, so like it's possible that like he heard about rocks before he became too obscure, right? Because Blackbeard knows what maybe Foxy does too.
Oh, wait, or maybe it was Foxy was no, Foxy was born, I think, the year Rocks died, which
Oh,
leans heavily into the he's his son theory, is all I'm saying.
dude, reincarnated rocks
Yes.
is Foxy.
Let's see here. Let's see here. This is total fan fiction. I think the final group of One Piece should be the original 20 kings who founded the world government, resurrected to keep their world alive. Ian can turn people into demons, so I don't think it's too far-fetched to think he can bring his fellow kings back to life. Oh, like he brings back the 20 kings and we fight them? I'm not
I'm not
against that
against that.
conceptually.
Yeah, it sounds fine.
I don't hate that automatically.
No, like it could work.
I'm just
But
imagining Law
personally, I
trying to
just think
kill
that
S.
personally, I just think that like we've already built up so many antagonists that are already like alive and stuff. Like, do we really need to add 20 more guys on top of it? Like,
Yeah, I don't care.
like if they're just like like, oh, it's Eames' final phase and he summons 20 big shadows to fight alongside him, and it's implied those are the 20 kings or whatever. Then it's like,
That'd be
okay,
fun.
yeah, why not? But
Next. Um, I'm just imagining Law trying to kill S Flamingo and screaming at him about his Flamingo rated trauma, and then S Flamingo just bursts into tears because he's 10 and never been yelled at.
Sorry, the joke we made
Bullies a
with
child.
it's the joke we made with Moria and Brooks. Like, you took my shadow. I spent 50 years on a boat. I never saw the sun.
And Moria's like, what is this skeleton yelling about? He's kind of scaring me. I didn't know skeletons could talk. I didn't make him into a zombie. He's just doing that. Let's see here. Oh, this is someone else talking about how Melon T portrays Doflamingo as like 100% manipulator. What I didn't know is apparently she called what Doflamingo did to Vergo in his last moments as love bombing. No, it's not. Vergo's gonna die. Doflamingo is expressing his honest fucking opinion. He has no reason to love bomb the guy that's gonna die. He can't manipulate a corpse. He's doing this because he, on some level, liked Vergo and will miss him. Puff, the thing I like to assume is I think he liked Vergo the most because Vergo was the closest in age to him.
Yeah.
Like, everyone else was this weird adult or like this weird brat he took in. Vergo was like, that's my man Vergo. He doesn't talk and he's got shit hair. That's my man Vergo. We have a long comment.
I mean, it's still
All right,
possible that I think it's clear. Like my take on is that like he does view all of his family members as lesser than him, but like he does value them more than all other people. So like he does have a
yeah, we talked about that before. He clearly objectifies his crew and doesn't treat them as real people.
Yeah, in his fucked up worldview, he's like, this is my family, but also this family exists to be my pawns and stuff like that.
Yes, but he still likes them. Like,
yeah,
he has an emotional connection to Vergo. It's probably closer to the connection you have to, like, a pet you don't like that much, but, like, still. I didn't even say a pet, because, like, I guarantee I like my pet more than Vergo likes his family, or, like, more than Doflamingo likes his family, but it's, like, the type of person who has, like, it's like a guard dog. Like, you like your guard dog, but it's a guard dog. Prescript, sorry for the essay length commentary. It's chronological with the video. I never remember to add timestamps. That's fine.
Yeah.
For Oh No Woke Oda, they added that Oda has referenced Che Guevara at least twice.
He did do that.
Yeah, the Caribou one is hilarious. Thank you for recognizing and criticizing the goat Melon Tea. I'm glad, yeah. It's funny because it's like, we like her. What I liked about her is, I think it was like 8 months after the live action ended, she's like, I'm breaking my silence. I didn't like the live action. And then she listed a bunch of criticisms, and I was like, oh, this is great. This is a great day. I think you guys have a good grasp of canon. I do believe Luffy was destined to be a godlike character since Chapter 1. I don't think there's anything to really show that, though. One of my favorite and least favorite characters, D. Dragon in Caribou. I know Dragon doesn't have a lot of action yet, but I really like his development so far. Good for you. I love Caribou. I love him so much.
I don't not think development, it's characterization.
Counterpoint. Super Eye Patch Wolf said it's character development once in a One Piece video. Ohara probably thought that Dragon threatened to kill Kuma because there was a bad fan translation. I don't think so, because Ohara reads the Japanese raws because Ohara can kind of read Japanese. So I don't think that's what happened. I worked on set with Jason Momoa. You what?
Whoa.
I worked on set with Jason Momoa. He was super charismatic, super nice and cool. Played guitar with an audience surrounding him on set during filming Stargate. That's nice. That's cool.
Cool.
Good for you. That's a pretty cool experience.
Yeah, wow.
That's a pretty neat experience. I always love discussing the impel down to Magellan's morality because I love being able to bring up the very blatant difference in the prisoners saved by Buggy and the prisoners saved by Ivankov. When Buggy released the prisoners just raw from themselves, their first priority was to riot and get back at the guards. These are the prisoners on the first two levels, among the least heinous but still violent and vindictive, because they were spending their days being tortured and dehumanized. Then the prisoners we meet at level 5.5, the people who are actually shown humanity and decency, you couldn't even tell they were prisoners locked up for God knows how long because they're all sane and happy and cool. Yeah. No, I think that's obviously intentional. Eva is giving them the freedom that is living a queer lifestyle, and they're fucking loving
Yeah, and I
it.
imagine Eva, because like they only have so much space in 5.5, like has to be very selective with who they choose to bring in. It's like,
Eva's
all right,
using Eva.
do I
Eva is
bring
using
in?
his. Eva is clocking people. Well, I know what I'd like. Eva's not the one who's perfect at telling if. What's it called? It's like you can tell someone's an egg. I think it's like Eva is not the one with a perfect egg sensor in Gaydar. It's actually Inazuma, and that's Inazuma's purpose. Inazuma has a flawless track record for spotting if someone is in the closet about being gay or trans. Inazuma can do it in a second.
Yeah, I'm just imagining Eva looking at the new prisoners. All right, who came in this month? All right, a super mega murderer rapist, or a guy who killed his dad because his dad tried to kill him for wearing a dress.
Yeah, you
Hmm.
know what I like to imagine?
Who do I pick?
No,
What do you think,
Eva
Inazuma?
Eva watched Doflamingo walk in his flamboyant pompous way, and Eva's like, "Oh, that's so exciting." Then Eva saw Magellan sit next to him, and Eva's like, "God damn it!" Or not Eva, Bond. Bond's like, "Ooh, we got a good one. Look at him. He's so flamboyant. I love him." And then Magellan's guarding Dofi, and Bond's like, "God damn it, what do we do?
I like to
How
imagine
do we
Bond
get
like
him?"
me too. It's like, oh my god, I love him, but he's Doflamingo. I can't bring him in. He's too dangerous. Oh
I
man.
prefer if he didn't even think that. He just can't because Magellan's guarding him. It's like, no, no, we can't bring him over. Okay, it was not Reverse Mountain where the mom guessed that Luffy would be a god. It was Little Garden. And then this is that we talked about the rest of this. Do you think the revolutionaries will kill celestial dragons? All of them, no. Some, yeah, maybe.
Probably. It wouldn't be surprising if, like, I don't know, like
Some may have
Karasu
already
or like
died. Well, probably
Mort.
not. But some, like, not dying, but like clearly they're pro torturing them. I do compare like dragons doing a war crime. He's starving the celestial dragons. It's like, dog, it's the celestial dragons. There's few war crimes I think you can't do against them.
I mean, if we're talking about war crimes, like they broke the Geneva Conventions first, like 30 billion times over.
Yeah,
So,
it's like, oh no, he's starving the most evil people on the planet, kind of.
oh no,
I
he's
think they're
starving
fine.
the people who are pro genocide and
Oh no, they might die.
who attack unarmed civilians for
Oh,
just testing weaponry.
I saw a good one, Puff. Someone pointed out Tekking is a little better at predicting than the average and than the average theorist because he embraces silly enough while also caring about One Piece's vibes more, which is true. One thing that they pointed out, which is funny, we also predicted this too, Puff, which is predicting Kaido was a fish. Because remember, the second we saw Dragon Kaido, we just joked, "What if it's the fish fruit? Wouldn't that be funny?" Like we
Yeah.
just joked that, right? That'd be funny.
I think
Um,
a lot of what we thought it would be for a while is like he literally started as a koi fish and like this was his awakened form or whatever.
that'd be so. Oh yeah, no, we wanted that, which would be infinitely funny.
Yeah.
Do you think that rock's blowing holes in the full ahead rock? Okay, minor correction. It's not full ahead. It's full of lead. Because when you're shot a lot, you are full of lead. It's full of lead. um,
I
that's
don't
why it's
know.
beehive, because it's
Maybe the
full of
romanization
holes. Um,
doesn't agree with you, Shiki. Maybe it doesn't.
Do you think that rocks blowing holes in the full head rock is a retcon from Kaido's flashback? We see holes in it twice when Kaido joins. Oh, that's quite simple. Someone with Pika's fruit rebuilt it, and then rocks made new holes later.
Hell
Obviously,
yeah.
this is quite
I
simple.
mean, it might not be. I'm not sure if that would be a retcon so much as just a plain inconsistency.
Yeah, like I guess it's technically a retcon, but it's like a retcon that doesn't matter in the slightest.
Yeah.
Someone pointed out that like arguing for best big OP YouTuber Tekking, it's like, yeah, that's probably the right answer.
I mean, if you don't say Tekking or Melody, I'm gonna ask who and why should I like you?
And then I'm gonna be concerned. And like I say, Tekking is I don't think Melody is as big as them. I think she's in a lower tier.
Yeah, that is
Um,
true, but like,
I hope S-Croc gets Magellan's fruit. That'd be cute. That'd be funny. Not saying, but I got fucking Venom.
yeah, it's just as
um,
good.
A quick thing about Morge I'm going to say, because we got a comment talking about how Morge is getting boring. The two things that ruin Morge are one, uh, the thing that happened with Raid Fail, which is when he likes a theory, he goes so hard on it. He can alienate a lot of his fans, make his videos kind of boring and repetitive, force himself to get bad evidence, and also sometimes straight up ruin discourse. And then the second thing that's ruining his channel is his fucking power scale.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
I mean, like,
Don't
at
we
the very
already-
least, like, this is the thing, like, if you want to be a power streamer, the very least you can do is, like, be good at it and proper at it, which is to say, don't focus on a story that's not finished yet and a bunch of characters who have no fights yet. Because that, yeah, if you're just, like, speculating about One Piece top tiers is just, like, not, like, productive. Like, you know, if you're having fun doing it, go ahead. You know, obviously the story wants to tease you about this stuff, but it has just been teasing you so far.
Wait, Puff, we got an awesome comment.
Ooh.
For One Piece wokeness, Black Sage D, I think I know who that is, made a thread about how OP characters improve themselves instead of blaming society like woke activists. Okay, what did he say? Because that's very funny. No matter how hard life gets for its main characters, not once do they blame the rest of society for their issues. They take responsibility for themselves and actually work to improve themselves. That's not true. Robin almost getting executed was not her fault.
Yeah, I was just like,
That
what?
was-
I'm just imagining the scene, like, where, like, they introduce celestial dragons. Everyone in the room was like, oh, no, don't fuck with that guy. He's a celestial dragon.
Amy's getting sold into slavery, and they're like, this is her fault.
Yeah. You know, she let her guard down. She should have realized that there was a monetary reason that people would want to kidnap her and should have taken that into consideration before she came here.
Oh, so, and then someone brought up Robin, because that is an easy example. One Piece is not about going against a tyrannical government. It's literally a children's manga about pirates going on adventures and finding treasure. Unlike you, I don't watch anime via Reddit. One Piece is about going against a tyrannical government.
If you don't
only
think that,
saw, you are
right,
stupid.
if you only like saw read the East Blue, then like, okay, that's believable. But
like,
you know,
the Marines are kind of shitty, but they don't seem to be the main antagonist.
yeah, you know, like, you could be like, fine, like, whatever, the Marines are shitty because, oh, they're the antagonists trying to stop our pirates from going on their adventure and stuff like that. But by the time we're in Alabasta, it's like, all right, the world government itself is kind of suspect because the warlord system and what they're trying to cover up and all that.
And yeah, they're covering up who stopped the warlords. That's suspicious.
And then we go to
And
Skypiea and Jaya, which is like, whatever, they don't play much of a role there. But then
Annie's
Eddie's
lobby
Lobby and
happens.
Water 7, it's like, okay, they're just an outright malicious force now. Okay. They're making the world actively worse. Okay, they believe in genocide.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you think One Piece isn't a, like, tyrannical government is literally one of the two main villains in the story. Too many people these days have completely lost their sense of wonder and adventure. Everything has to be viewed with the cynical lens of postmodern politics. The act of escapism is dying because folks refuse to let go of their political activism. I don't agree with that because I don't think a series being political automatically makes it postmodern cynicism and a rejection of wonder and adventure. A series where we can overthrow the people not giving us medicine by punching them really hard is a form of wondrous escapism.
You know, this, like, yeah, this is the thing I always bring up. Like, this is gonna be this is gonna be a major point in the SAO video that's gonna come out in like 5 years from now. Like, oh, but it's like an escapist fantasy or whatever the fuck. And it's like, okay, but so is One Piece, so is every other piece of media. Like the fact that like, even just like, forget about the whole politics thing, just like vicariously going on a fun fantasy adventure through the characters of the Straw Hats is a fun escapist thing. That's what like media, anime, and manga do.
No, his argument is because One Piece does that, it's not political. But it's like, no, the politics feed into the escapism. Being able to beat up slave owners is fun escapist fantasy.
Yeah, like, it's literally like there's this meme that's like me watching Luffy destroy the Toronto housing market because I gave him a cup of coffee and a donut. Like, that's the fantasy, right? It's like, oh man, I hate how societies. I hate that, you know, the rich take too much, or I hate my boss at work, or I hate what my mom and my dad or whatever. Oh hey, Luffy's gonna punch them for me because they're limiting my freedoms. Thank you. Yes, please. Thank you so much.
I don't think the live action is bad, but besides that, it brought even more fans that read the manga, whatever. One Piece is popular, but it can always be more popular. Does it need to be? Even here in the West, it isn't nearly as popular as stuff like DBZ or Naruto. It's never surpassing Dragon Ball because the West includes Mexico, so never surpassing Dragon Ball. And Naruto, I think you could argue before the live action, One Piece was at this point kind of competing with Naruto for popularity.
Also, again, we're talking about the most popular like anime and manga to exist. So like,
Yeah, I don't care. Give me a live action adaptation of Real by Takue Inoue. That's the type of thing that needs more fucking fans.
give me a live action adaptation of Arya the Masterpiece. Call it Arya the Real. Arya the Real.
Give me a live action adaptation of Toto the Wonderful Adventure. Then I'll
give me a
talk to you.
live action adaptation of Frank and Fran. That actually sounds like it'd be funny and fun.
It would be funny. I'd like to see them try that actually.
Yeah.
My headcanon for Sakazuki not getting his putting for the infatuation is that Sengoku didn't like that, but the Five Elders liked it a lot. Yeah, I think it's more like they're like, that's a little much, but you got the job done, so... Let's see here. I do like how the comments are like 50-50 on which one of us is Mordecai and which one of us is Rigby. That's really funny.
Because I still don't really know because I haven't seen regular shows. So I'm like, man, what's the ratio here?
This is really dumb, but what if Silver Axe is related to Axe Hand Morgan? I'm not finishing your comment. Fuck it. Why not? Literally, why not? Who cares?
Yeah. Sure.
The answer is
dude.
simple.
What if the axe hand what if Morgan's axe hand was the silver axe that Silver Axe used?
Let's see here. Most One Piece fans are unable to form their own opinion. They just echo what their favorite YouTuber says. That's most people when it comes to media.
Yeah, you know.
I wouldn't even say most. I'd say most vocal people. I think the average viewer does have their own unique opinions.
Yeah. Again, like it applies to more things than One Piece, so like I guess it's worth keeping in mind. But like,
people here only glaze Melody because she aligns with their particular political critique. She makes some good videos, but she does go from the conclusion she wants and tries to bend the story to get to that point. I don't think that's right. I think what it is she's looking at it through a lens. But when she's looking at One Piece through the lens of LGBT characters, obviously she's going to look at how gay they are.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but they're there. We have to look at them now. Yuck, how could you do this to me, Oda? How could you make me look at all these LGBTQ plus people? Oh, no.
Oh, we did get a bad comment. Someone said the only reason World's Strongest Swordsman even exists is to give Zoro a clear goal. Any power scaling discussions about it are inherently stupid because it's totally not about who can beat who, and instead as who is revered as the strongest. Oh, no, I'm fine with this one. That's true. It is about who has the title. Who can beat who is like, it matters, but it's less important.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I don't understand what Zoro and Canon AU being a cop has to do with men fucking. I think you missed a few steps there. One Piece isn't woke. For all the clowns that think it is, it's just a story that paints the world gray. And for all the idiots that thinks it's anti-capitalist, just look at Wapol. Oda drew an entire redemption mini-arc for him, where he becomes a business tycoon and is no longer being used as a villain, but instead as an ally in hiding with Vivi. Even Vegapunk is the capitalist. He doesn't work for anyone that can't provide him funding. Buff, can I say what my comment to this was?
Oh, what?
Wapol's new island is literally called Evil Black Drum Kingdom.
I know, like, the thing is, that comment sounds like it's intentionally being a straw man for you to respond to.
It's so stupid, because it's like, paints the world gray, Wapol literally calls his kingdom black, Wapol isn't evil, Wapol is literally names his kingdom evil. And it's like, here's the funny part about Wapol being a capitalist pup, this is just us being funny, because I talked to you about this. Wapol is literally the means of production.
Right? He's a worker, he makes all the toys himself.
Like, literally, without Wapol, you can't make Wapo metal. So he is the means of production. Literally, nothing can get produced without him making it. So,
right? Like, I'm not sure I'd say that One Piece is anti-capitalist.
No, I don't think One Piece really touches on economics.
No, it does. Like, it doesn't really touch on it all that much.
Like, I don't think it's pro or anti-capitalist at all.
And also, like, it does kind of like again, like, it kind of conveys like the pirate world is like this hyper-competitive scene that like, oh, you have to take a risk. Where like, you know, if it's what you want to do, go for it, champ. ship, which you could say is kind of like capitalist, even though
Well,
it doesn't really do
that's
anything.
yeah, that's like quote unquote anarcho-capitalist.
Yeah, but
Giant
whatever.
air quotes, because most anarcho-capitalists just really want to lower the age of consent for some reason.
But anyway, it's just like I don't think like it really has a real stance on that, but like
No, I don't think it touches on it either way. Like, I don't think it's fair to call it pro or anti, because I think One Piece barely touches on economic systems.
unlike another manga
And
we'll be
then
talking about in the coming
yes, which
months.
definitely does. And then when it comes to Wapple, Wapple's not a good person.
No.
Wapple making toys for kids doesn't make him a good person because he used those toys to become an evil fucking business tycoon. And if you want to point out how he's tied to capitalist like framing there, he's being framed as like comedically evil. He sells toys to kids and he used that to make a giant empire where he sells like metal that's amazing for weaponry.
And also like a character like being given like a if we were to say like happy end or like better end now because the story's not over, but like it feels weird to say like a character like coming back and like not being the main villain or whatever anymore is like, and that morally redeems them is like, well, that's wrong though, because Crocodile's still a scummy piece of shit who was doing scummy piece of shit things like.
Well, and also, like, there's literally that scene where he's talking with Dalton, and he's like, Dalton, you moron. You'll never be able to keep up your perfect utopia forever. Eventually, you're gonna have to learn that you have to be a little cruel. And reminder that the perfect society things Dalton wanted to do was democratically elect their leader, and give people healthcare, and give people defense from pirates. Those are the three things he did.
Yeah. He doesn't even like live in the castle. He lives in town with everyone else.
Yeah. And then let's keep going. I saw people complaining that Oda's putting too many characters in his story by adding twins. That's funny. Please stop calling Yamato trans. No. Also, we got it. Don't worry, Puff. This guy's an idiot. He said Oda called Yamato a woman in the SBS. Never happened. You people are so fucking stupid. I need to make like an infographic debunking all of these.
Oh man, dude, I've been considering like God, it feels so weird because like this whole like series is kind of like almost dedicated to this idea of like debunking like fraud, like terrible One Piece.
But we've reached claims that keep coming back over and over.
I know, so it's like if you don't have a response to "I am Yamato, the son of Kaido," if you don't have a response to that line that isn't just like brushing it off or whatever,
that isn't being like, well, what about this other thing? No, address the line. Address the line. Don't be like, well, in a Viver card, well, in this color spread, everyone else is a woman. Did you also know that in the first 10 color spreads, Nami's the only woman? I guess she's a man.
Dude, what about the Women's Day color spread where Chopper was? Is Chopper
Tokyo,
a trans
Tokyo
icon
Girls
now?
Collection.
Is Chopper a trans icon because he was on the Women's Day color spread?
Hey, Chopper is the trans flag colors. I love how Marge will bemoan agenda stuff. How does he bemoan agenda stuff? He is the most agenda-ass man on the planet. Oh, yeah, he likes saying stuff like, random TNT beat Big Mom. Yeah, that's an agenda thing to say. Oh, Puff, an agenda thing Chas realized is he went on to, like, r/like frauds or something, like, that stupid Reddit, and Chas is like, it's all One Piece. Like, there's a few other anime here, but it's all One Piece.
Yeah, that makes sense, because, again, the One Piece has a bunch of top tiers who haven't fought anyone for, like, 10 plus years. Of course it's gonna be that one. What other manga can you point to where that has happened?
Someone brought up that like there are arcs with betrayals, thus a revolutionary might try and betray the revolutionaries. Fucking maybe, but it's not a guarantee. Why did this was a weird comment we got where I never understood what he was saying. Basically he said, why did Pedro die then? Was it mistimed? And I said, what the fuck are you talking about? And they landed on, I'm nitpicking Pedro's death because it was built up only to stall Peril Sparrow. Like obviously it was to buy the crew more time. But I personally feel like it was weak writing for Pedro's character, and a little lazy writing on Oda's part, especially since he could have at the very least made it to the raid and died fighting Peril Sparrow there. Now if he lives or dies, I don't think it changes anything in the narrative either way. If he lived, and Koa could have co-ran the Minx with him. No. One, he didn't die to stall Peril Sparrow. He died to free the Sunny from Peril Sparrow's candy, which Luffy couldn't do because he was fighting Katakuri. And then Carrot and Pedro co-leading the Minx would suck. The whole point is Carrot is inheriting Pedro's will as he dies.
Yeah, like so, like at the very least, Carrot's motivations will change if he dies.
Carrot is a worse character, and people are like, "Oh, Carrot's stinky." But that's not a valid point. I have a couple of enlightened power scaling opinions to share, Evil Puff.
Whoa.
Onigumo is Garp's left-hand man. No, he's not. Onigumo is like evil as fuck. Kuzan was going around giving people freezing cooties in the Payback War, and Marco saw his friends getting turned into ice sculptures and broken into pieces. I don't know. I think it's implied the Payback War happened before Kuzan joined.
It happened sometime in the time skip, and Aokiji presumably joined Blackbeard sometime in the time skip. So like,
but I think Kuzan was after.
Yeah, the thing is that it's kind of implied that like he joined either late into the time skip or a bit after, because like the Gorosei, when they're talking with the Kainers, like, oh, don't you know the type of people Aokiji's hanging out with now? So like it kind of implies that this is kind of a recent thing. Or like at least something that's not been confirmed yet. Like, oh, we know he's been talking with Blackbeard, but has he joined him? ?
Yeah. Jozu and Whitey Bay are married post time skip. Hell yeah, why not? Who cares? John Chinjiao is actually stronger than Roger because post Roger death Garp had to train to flatten his head. He didn't have any gray hairs, which clearly means he's still in his prime. That's hilarious and true.
Hell yeah.
Prime Chinjiao stronger than Roger.
Dude, that means Sai is on his way to being Pirate King plus level. Let's go.
And then S-Croc either has Magellan's fruit or the Rust fruit. I'm fine with that. I think Rust fruit just kind of fits, like, it's closest to Crocodile's fruit. My money is on Rocks and Blackbeard's mom are inside of Teach. I mean, they could. I think we already talked about the pros and cons of this theory. I've got an opinion I'd like your guys' take on. When ranking arcs, Reverie and Zoe make less sense to rank individually and more sense to lump into other arcs. I think you can rank Zoe on its own, but ranking Reverie on its own is stupid.
Yeah.
This kind of thing of sagas are more fun to rank than arcs, but also One Piece fans have a stupid definition of arcs. Post Enies Lobby is not an arc.
Yeah, if you say post Enies
Reverie
Lobby,
is not
I
an
want
arc.
you to die. I want to strangle
What's
you.
funnier is Reverie, as we saw after people called it an arc, is that Reverie is like we fully learn what happened at Reverie at the start of Wano, in the middle of Wano, and during Egghead. Like it's really stretched out where we learn about Reverie because it's not an arc. Blackbeard Straw Hat predictions. I'm gonna check for the only one I care about. Who are you having Jinbei fight? Nami versus Lafitte. Brooke versus Vasco. You suck. It's not Jinbei versus Vasco. I don't. That's all I care about. Let's see here. You guys talking about Tekking reminds me that I used to like him. I think he's one of the better OP YouTubers, but he's just as guilty of promoting bad theories. I don't think promoting bad theories is innately bad, because Tekking does it through the lens of making fun, goofy theories.
Yeah, like I don't think there's ever been like, oh, I think he has like he's doing an intentional bad faith argument to push some agenda or whatever the hell. It's just like, hey, this is the fun thought that I had about this chapter this week or whatever. Like that's always the impression I've gotten from him. Like I haven't seen like all of his videos, so maybe I'm wrong, but like that's my general impression of him.
Right. Thank you two for yelling at me for being anime only. The manga's so much better. Glad it worked.
Yes.
Someone pointed out what they meant when I said I don't know whose fucking name I was saying wrong. I would like to see off-screen stuff from the manga get adapted into the One Piece movies, but there's no way Toei would do that. That is true. The woke on accident comment is amazing. I'm a bit late on this, but I gotta say the Elbaf mural threw a wrench into my theory on what the One Piece is. Oh, you thought it was gonna be a giant comic book, but then the mural's a comic book. That does kind of ruin it. On the whole Oda being woke thing, we've seen Che Guevara posters, and I think he has a copy of the Communist Manifesto in his house. He does? I do not know this.
I did not know that either.
And then someone's like, hey, you idiot. Oda collaborates with, Oda lets people, Oda lets Luffy advertise McDonald's. He can't be a communist. And then I said, you're both dorks. You don't know his political opinion. Stop being weird. And then they also said, One Piece being pro...
Shiki. There are presumably ads running in front of the videos I make, right? So, like, does that mean that I can't be a communist? Like, yes. I'm not, but, like, does that lock me out of the club?
You've now
Will they see that I have a YouTube channel with ads turned on?
Communism is when no ads.
Am I not allowed to join the meetups now? Hey, Future Puff here. One thing I forgot to mention is that I'm actually part of a union, and when you're sworn in, you have to swear to resist and fight against Nazism, socialism, and other dangerous forms of isms. And obviously, like my union's old, they probably came off the Red Scare, but I guess I would get kicked out of the clubs.
Yeah, communism is when no ads. Next is they said racism is bad, evil kings are bad, don't genocide innocent people. None of this makes Oda woke or a communist. It is basic human decency. Dog, I got terrible news for you on what woke means. People call series with like diverse characters woke. People called Superman woke because James Gunn pointed out that he's an immigrant.
Which is literally
woke
what
literally
he's
just
been
means
for
woke just
the
means like
past
even slightly
100
progressive.
years. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Like, anyone who's like knows anything about Superman understands that, like, yeah, the immigrant angle is something they've done a whole lot ever since both the early parts of his character and have expanded upon in many ways since. Like, there's literally a whole like a run, or not run, but like a whole like a book called Superman the American Alien.
Nice. Next is this person's been asking a lot. Do anything on that anime snob? I'm not. I know what bait looks like, and it's that. Do you guys watch live reactions? No.
Sometimes we do.
Personally, I think King recons are the most fun since she doesn't push the agenda. If I had to pick anyone, and they would be very agenda pushy, is King of Lightning because I feel like he's just a fun person to watch live reaction.
Yeah, I want to bring out Sword Sama and then mimic the attack that we just saw in the last chapter and stuff like that.
Alright, Puff, this guy's trying to predict what we like dipping our chicken tenders in. What do you like dipping chicken tenders in?
Well, there's a few things that are good. I guess like
name
mainly,
like your top 3.
I guess it'd be ketchup because it's the most accessible and obvious. There's this one sauce that's just called gourmet that like I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I think it's like
probably mayo with a lot of bullshit in it.
No, it's not mayo. But it feels like just like better tasting ketchup. I think it's in the fridge right now. I don't exactly know what's in it, but it's just better tasting
what's
ketchup.
The third one?
And then third, I guess would just be garlic dip because I tried that once and it's like, damn, garlic dip really just tastes good.
With this person was wrong. You thought you were a ranch guy. And then someone said I'm barbecue sauce. I will dip my fucking tenders in whatever is near me.
Mustard?
Yeah, I've dipped them in milkshakes before.
You're an animal.
Whatever's near me. Whatever's near me.
You're an animal.
No, I've dipped like Wendy's nuggets in like Frosties.
Yeah, whatever, subhuman.
It's pretty good. Like it's not great, but it's pretty good. Sanji, let's see here. Hearing Shiki was a fan of Psych. I'm gonna start speed running. Buggy was meant to be Joy Boy. Usopp is. Let's see.
He was meant to bring joy to us all through laughter as a clown.
Mm-hmm. What are your guys' thoughts on Roger's base? He's fine.
He's all right.
He
kind of feels like like one of the he's has he retired yet from doing One Piece stuff
I know he said he's not going to do anything. He's not going to do any shonen besides One Piece, and I think he only talks about One Piece every now and then.
Yeah. Okay. So like, I haven't like.
Oh, Puff, you want to hear a goated theory?
Ooh, what is it?
Robin consistently so far with her only 2 opponents had a theme of fighting people who did martial arts. The guy from Skypiea was a sumo wrestler, and Black Maria did boxing. Thus, Robin's gonna fight the ultimate grappler, Burgess.
Yo.
And he brought up like, oh, what if like when Burgess tries to throw a big rock, she like makes his knees buckle. I counter that with my own funnier idea, Puff. She tries to put him in a hold, but because he's the ultimate grappler, he actually gets out of it like really easily.
Oh my god, that'd be so weird because like it's like you think it's the first time I fought someone with 1,000 hands. You don't become the ultimate grappler without doing that at least 3 times. The world's much bigger than
I just love to imagine like any hold she does, he breaks out immediately, and he's like, "Yeah, no, I've been putting like every hold known to man. I'm the ultimate grappler." And Robin's like,
I'm just imagining him like somersaulting out of Robin's fruit or something. Even though the arms would be sprouting like out of his like legs and like ribs or whatever the hell, he just does it anyway.
Yeah, he somehow just knows the perfect counter. Or no, he's the ultimate grappler because he can react that quickly. He can figure out how to escape
Yo.
5 seconds after being put in a hold. The funny thing about your Pikachu-Luffy comparison is that Pokemon has games without Pikachu, doesn't have movies without Pikachu. My point stands. um,
No.
I would like for revenge-hungry revolutionaries. I agree. I just don't care that much about them. I actually believe that the mom. Okay, no, whatever. It's about the mom piece thing. I'm sure it's a good podcast. I just don't listen to podcasts anymore. I'm not in that era. Um, Viewing the Seraphim as future antagonist matchups like Morge does misses the point of the Seraphim. I agree. Seraphim are interesting characters where the whole point is going to be what will happen to them, what will they turn into? Will they be like the people they're cloned of? Will they take a different route? And yeah, just having it be like, oh, what if Esselmingo fought Sanji and he was admiral level? It's like, I don't care.
Yeah, the thing is, like, it's possible to become like antagonists because again, they have the control chip. So like, like if they're being abused still as weapons near the end, like that's possible that we get matchups with them, and we have to like free them or whatever.
Yeah. Someone brought up that apparently they had not heard the theory that Blackbeard's dark fruit is a mythical zone until chapter 1156. I'm so happy for you because I've been hearing it since the Nika reveal.
Yeah, yeah,
It's a perfectly maybe theory.
yeah.
What's funny is like let's see here. I saw a Reddit post titled "Always felt weird when people say One Piece does not have any right-leaning or nationalist ideas." Right-leaning, whatever. You could argue some might act like accidentally or intentionally become that way. Nationalist is hilarious. One Piece full of
Dude, it's
nationalists.
because Nippon's strong. They made Zoro, the
Dude,
Japanese guy, the
Vivi
strongest
loves
dude
her
ever.
country, and this means she's a nationalist.
Even though she wants to participate in the UN and make it better
Yes.
and stuff like that.
And also, when a rebel army was trying to take over, she liked the rebel army and only didn't like it because she didn't want people to die.
Yeah.
Why do people? Okay, someone brought up something funny, which is Land is a better name for the arc than Whole Cake Island, and it is funny the fandom did that. But also, I like saying Whole Cake Island more.
That is true. I think it rolls off the tongue more, but like objectively speaking, Totoland is probably more correct.
Someone brought up that Shocky's Heart Eye Blast is a hockey power, and they tried to say no because Rayleigh. Counterpoint: Rayleigh's the Dark King. He is the greatest armament hockey in the verse. So no,
Right.
it actually is a hockey
You see, he
blast.
actually applies armor hockey really hard to his glasses whenever they flash a pose, so
Yeah,
he's just immune.
yeah. Then some guy brought up the valid thing of like why people think rocks the rocks basically rocks Mihawk swordsman bullshit, basically the two ways you can interpret it for whichever side you like more. Side note: the idea that Shanks can just punch or shoot Mihawk is a more valid interpretation than this, but I doubt it because we've seen swordsmen with multiple styles or fighting abilities before, but all of them still resorted to something with their sword as their ultimate move. Law with puncture while King shooting a dragon from his sword. I'm not counting that as a sword attack. That's not a sword attack. That is could he not do that from like his hand?
No, no, no. He needed the sword. It was very important. He was
No, and
channeling
then
it
also
through the
like
sword.
no, and then I do legitimately think
Shiki,
like
you
those wouldn't.
remember how his sword has like the
Yeah,
like the I'm not sure what you call them, but like sort of the gills that like caught Zoro's sword like on one
yeah,
side of it. That
yeah.
was the spines on the dragon.
Nice. Basically, I don't agree with this take that like, oh no, you're still a swordsman even when you're using your devil fruit. I fully think that like if your quote unquote swordsmanship is turning your sword into fire and then blowing the other guy up, I think it's fair to say that's not fucking swordsmanship.
But dude, he's
I
using
feel
his
like that doesn't
natural
count.
biological capabilities. It's not a devil fruit.
Nice. All right, we're done.
Yeah. Woohoo. Okay, so
All right,
do you think
we'll
you're
do
gonna
something
be ready
tomorrow.
for? Do you think you're gonna be ready for Naruto next week or?
Let me check what Boruto episode I'm on,
All right, because if
because
it's
that is
not,
going to be that's going to be what determines it.
yeah, because if it's not that, then wouldn't really have anything planned because
We'll probably
Magi's
just do
not
a
gonna
dumb
be
tier
for a
list
bit,
because we're lazy.
or we just don't do anything.
We could. That is true. I'm
That's
on
always an
episode
option.
one. I'm on episode 248, so probably not this week. Probably next week.
All right. Well, good night, everyone.
Bye.
Woohoo!